This is Lansdowne ROAR, the voice of the fans, and it's the last day of the Premier League season. We're talking Nathan Collins, history maker. Also, a sad day for Josh Keane and co. But happy days for Conor Coventry and Alex Gilbert's Charlton Athletic. Katie McCabe, she's a European Cup winner. There's loads more to talk about. It is Lansdowne ROAR, the final Lansdowne ROAR of the season. Here we go. Almost a Freudian slip.
Ooh.
At the very beginning. David Dunn here, joined by Conor McAvoy. This is Lansdowne ROAR, the voice of the fans. And of course, as always, we are live. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter. We are live over on Facebook. So how does it work? Well, if it's your first time watching us, welcome. Very simple, guys. Have you say, leave a comment, get involved. Conor and I are going to talk football for about half an hour. You're going to send me a load of abuse, no doubt. And because we get a lot of abuse on Twitter. And then we're going to talk about that in a second. And then you guys are going to have your say. About half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on the chat, the quality of the chat, we will get to your comments. Keep it classy. Say what you want, but keep it classy. Nothing silly, nothing stupid. Ask us anything you want, or you can talk about whatever we are talking about. We are here for you. The Roar faithful, and of course we are Irish football's most interactive podcast. Before we get started, just want to remind everybody, if you would, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button on this video if you wouldn't mind, because it really does help us grow as a channel. And also, if you could subscribe to the channel as well, would be lovely. You can also head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can also head over to lansdowneroar.ie, lansdowneroar.ie, where you can get an audio version of this if you want to go back and listen, or wherever you get your podcast from, Spotify, Apple, that sort of thing. Right, after that, I'm a little bit breathless. Conor, how are you? Last day of the season, well, the Premier League season anyway, of course. League of Ireland still going on before I start getting pelters for that. And of course, we will have another League of Ireland episode this week, and you check all the other League of Ireland episodes, even though we don't talk about League of Ireland, Conor, do when you don't follow League of Ireland. It's on in the archives there on the YouTube channel, and of course wherever you get your podcast. Sorry, Conor, you may speak now.
I'm flying. I'm the best. I've had an enjoyable enough day today. Now watching football all day, pretty much the usual. It was strange having all the lads in the Premier League playing at the exact same time today for once, which was uncommon. But then we had the lads playing earlier in the day. We had Fessy making his full debut, which he seemed to do excellently well in. If you look off stats alone, if you look at his SOFA score rating,
8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10, which I'm playing at right back, which was interesting, not as a wing back or as a right winger. And yeah, obviously there was some disappointment with the lads not going as well, and even the lads in Scotland losing in the final. And yeah, but no, I'm grand. You're the more entertained than me. I was just watching from home. You travelled to the games.
I did indeed. Hold on. Look, I've got my little late Orient flag.
Was that given out to everyone before the game?
It was, yes.
You think they would have got bigger ones for people actually to see?
Well, I mean, it's supposed to look really good. I don't know what it looked like on the TV, but yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic day had. There's a little mini vlog coming out of that later on in the next couple of days or whatever. But yes, I was at the League One playoff. Look at that sexy beast right there. You gorgeous man, David Dunn. Mwah. Sorry, I'm going to just leave it there for a second, guys, so you can all have a little kiss. There you go.
Why do you think it's so empty looking? It's so empty looking because you scared them all off.
Yes, probably did, actually. Yeah, well, I mean, the top left, as you can see in the photograph, that was tapered off. But yeah, I was in level 1. Shout out to friend of the pod, Brendan Keeley, who set me up with a ticket. And actually, I got pass to the Players Lounge and got to have a nice chat with Will Lee and of course Gary Doherty there as well. Nice guy, actually, Gary Doherty. He looks the same. He looks younger than he was as a player. Gary Doherty, lovely fella. Of course, the ex-international, played for Spurs, played for Norwich, and scored a few important goals for Ireland under Brian Kerr. But no, Conor had a fantastic day out. I really enjoyed it. Although I did, you know how it is. You go to the you go to a stadium, you always think, I'll bring this, I'll bring, and you're never prepared, are you? And I was a bit hungry, so I went to buy their burger. It was like £7 for a cheeseburger, and this is what they gave me:
That's disgusting.
cheeseburger with no cheese on it. And I just kept.
I thought you asked for no cheese on it.
No, I wanted a cheeseburger. No, that was the thing. That was a joke.
I thought you had asked. I thought you asked for a cheeseburger without any cheese. I thought that was your joke.
No, the joke was I asked for a cheeseburger, and that's what he gave me. Fucking pickles on the thing.
Pickles. I think it's the food usually is quite all right in Wembley. There's some nice food spots in Wembley, but that looks a bit crap. Like,
do you know what? It was actually a very nice burger.
no,
Maybe because I paid £7 for it, and I thought, this is great. You know, when I was in Geneva, in the Irish team hotel like 6 years ago, and I paid £8, the equivalent of £8 for a cappuccino. I remember just sitting there going, this better be a damn good cappuccino. Took a sip out. That was amazing. Probably cost £8. Like, it's probably the worst cappuccino ever. Anyway, had a great time. Thanks very much, Brendan. And when he sent me the ticket, he did say to me, P.S. Dave, no hard feelings about not voting Josh for goal of the season in the Lansdowne ROAR Award. So good man.
I'm surprised he didn't pull you up more on the spelling rather than the goals.
Yeah, I would have taken that one on the chin. No, I did meet up with Brendan. Had a very short chat with him. Obviously, you know, he was leaving. He was going to the airport, and you know, he's consoling Josh. Josh was pretty devastated. You know, I'd be very disappointed with the free kick, you know. But look, he's a young lad. He's 23. He's a hell of a talent, and he's got a big future ahead of him. And I thought Orient were very lucky today. In fact, I thought they were. I thought they played a better football. Charlton, you know, they were very poor in the first half, Orient, but when he came out in the second half, they gave it a go. They even hit the crossbar and everything. And I thought, Jesus, like, it just wasn't going to happen for them. I don't think Keeley had much to do, Connor, did he? Like, other than forcing
he just made one good save, and then in terms of his sweeper, keeper was very good, and like he'd done everything possible with the ball at his feet. Like, it was kind of like all the tactics is kind of hit it up into the strikers or into wingers' feet, which he does excellently. But no, we all know we should have done better with the goal, which is disappointing. Like, because especially when someone like myself raves about him so much, and then when it comes to the game, that every single person is watching,
the world's watching, yeah.
Because I know a certain someone's already in the comments, giving out about me raving about him, but no, it's just one of those days. He's a young keeper, and that these things happen. Like, and the thing is, he'll go down no matter what happens. He'll always be a cult hero, and he'll be remembered for the rest of the time at Leyton Orient for some of the memories he brought to them this season. So, no, he'll go on and achieve a lot bigger and better things in football. But it's just one of those days, isn't it? And I thought, because Charlton have been, I don't know if anyone watched any of the semi-finals and Charlton at all this season. They're an absolutely dreadful team to watch. What they do excellently. They're brilliant at the back and in the way they hit teams in the break or from set pieces, they're very good. Like, you don't really see Connor Coventry get on the ball much and dictate play because of the style of play. It is like you didn't really notice Connor Coventry that much today, and like you didn't get to see the best of Connor Coventry. But Gilbert got to get on the ball a bit more and try and make things happen a bit. But I thought Ollie O'Neill was probably the best player or top three players for Leyton Orient on the pitch today. I thought he was very dangerous. He offered a lot going forward, and every time he got the ball at his feet, he looked like he was going to make something happen. It was just a problem. They didn't get it into him enough, and I thought he actually was very dangerous, and he's probably one that Leyton Orient will probably worry about losing in the summer because they're going to lose Josh, they're going to lose Jimmy Donnelly. I'd imagine they'll lose Ethan Galbraith, and Charlie Kellman will be gone as well, and I'd say Ollie could be one of the next ones. So I'd really worry if I was a Leyton Orient fan about what's going to happen to them next season because they've a lot of replacing to do. Yeah,
but very popular as well. All, you know, give it to Ollie. It's all I heard. I was obviously in the Leyton Orient section, and they were just like, give it to Ollie, give it to Ollie. And a couple of times he got it, like some real quality turns. I didn't see the first one, the angle. You know, I didn't even get a proper look at the free kick really from my angle, my vantage point, and it was weird being at a match and not in the media section.
Yeah, I was saying that to you. I was telling you that was last night or something. Yeah. It's weird going to matches again and not being in the media section. But it's a good change getting away from that. But sure, you said you had the Wi-Fi, so you could have went to Twitter and got it on the
I did. Channel. No, I did. Yeah, I was. It was weird because I was trying to vlog it, and kind of enjoy it at the same time. Yeah, League One football. I remember last time I watched Charlton. I actually have watched Charlton before. I remember I had a Saturday off and just hopped on the tube and just went over to where they are, and massive ground, the Valley, huge ground. If you ever see a picture of it in the early '90s, and then when Alan Kirbishley went in and they sort of rebuilt the stadium and all that, like incredible. Like the grass was overgrown and it just went in and he sorted the whole thing out. A massive ground, really should be in the Premier League, to be fair. Huge following, great support, to be fair. And Leighton Orient as well. Nice fans, really nice fans, and devastated for them because I know a couple of lads that are Leighton Orient fans. And of course, Barry Hearn, Leighton Orient fan too, isn't he? And do you know they should if they only had John Sitton. Do you ever see that halftime team talk? Orient Club for a Fiver, Connor?
No.
Lads, I know there's going to be one or two of you watching this. Have you ever seen Orient Club for a Fiver, John Sitton, where he fires his he fires one of his players at half time and he threatens to. I won't say the language on here because it's on YouTube. But yeah, brilliant. Check that out, Connor, when we go off that. But anyway, I just kept thinking of that. John Sitton, who does follow me on Twitter, by the way. But yeah, commiserations there to Josh Keane and the family. Was devastated. Lovely man, Brendan. And we will see you, Brendan, in Luxembourg. I did say to him, Connor, we're going to see you in Luxembourg. And gave him a nice handshake. I didn't speak to Josh. He looked devastated. I think he was speaking to his mom. So I just, don't want to do that. Don't want to be that guy whilst I was stuffing my face with sausage roll. Oh yeah, proper fat bastard. I mean, they were gorgeous. It was all free, Connor. Free.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, chocolate cake. Do you remember we were in the media section in Wembley?
Yeah.
It was that quality. It was superb.
Bill Gaines trying to call you out on stream. Bill, he's not referring to Brisbane Road as being a massive ground. He's referring to the Valley, not Brisbane Road. He's not referring to the Valley where Charlton play, not Leighton Orient. So just to call Bill out on stream, just for his idiotic behaviour. I'm sure Oisin Fitzgerald will call out Irish Football Blog in the comments so we can have a bit of a row going in the comments between them two. Since Rolling Stone doesn't seem to be on for the night.
Where is Rolling Stone?
Where is Rolling Stone? Usually Sundays are where he peaks in terms of being in comments. But
yeah, do you listen to me, Bill Gain? Do you? Where? But anyway, yes, the Valley. Well, Lee Bowyer, who was the manager that day as well.
He was shown on the screen today. He was shown on the TV.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw him. Anyway, look, congratulations to Charlton. 2 Irish lads going up as well. We've always had a decent representation of Charlton. Most London clubs, you get a lot of Irish in there, don't you? So it is what it is.
Huge. There was huge Irish representation from both sides of the country.
2 in each.
Yeah, 2 in each. And then the lads even from the north, even playing for.
Yeah, sitting next to some of the family fell out there. He had a Northern Ireland top on. I was scowling. I was gonna ask him out for a fight. Then I realized he was like 6. Probably still would have beat me. Yeah, get out of that. And of course, other news as well. Before we're going to go through a little bit of the news, aren't we? Then we're going to get to iBig and then the comments. What you reckon, Colin? That sound good to you?
Yeah, get stuck in.
Grand stuff. Other news as well. Katie McCabe. I keep thinking Katie Taylor. I always call her Katie Taylor in the intro, which, by the way, is not a bad thing to call somebody whose name is also Katie. But anyway, Katie McCabe, Champions League winner, won it there yesterday. Held on quite well, actually, in the end, against an excellent Barcelona team, 1-0. They won their first Champions League in 18 years, Arsenal did. And a very, very big congratulations to Katie. Straight away with the Irish flag. Afterwards chatting away to TNT. Always proud of her Irish roots. Fantastic achievement for Connor.
Yeah, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted it's happened. I see some people probably having a go with that in the comments. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why there's a point of saying having a go at it. Just if you don't have, it doesn't tickle your fancy, just ignore it and move on. And but I'm delighted for her. She's now steeped herself as an Irish footballing legend, whether people like it or not. Especially, you'd say she's one of the greatest Irish women players of all time after what she's achieved over the last couple of years for club and for country. And yeah, was it the first Irish female winner of the Champions League since 2007? I think the first one since they rebranded it to the Champions League as such. And yeah, she's outstanding Irish footballer. She's
Mm.
inspiring probably the next generation of Irish female footballers, and shows that the route is still there for no matter what level you're playing at, that you can get there one day, coming through the League of Ireland and then going on to win a
Shells, yeah.
Champions, going on to win the Champions League. So it gives hope for people from an Irish perspective to go on and achieve great things in global football. So I'm delighted for her, and it's a huge moment for Irish women's football. Hopefully, it can be something that can be advertised quite well, as it's possible for everyone to achieve.
Yeah, I think so. I don't get the hostility towards it. I know we live in a very strange time where you're either woke or you're anti woke, and people don't seem to realize that there is actually an in between, where you can look at things like this and go, do you know what? And we won't, because obviously we're going to answer some of these in the comments, some of these comments. But, at the end of the day, if you have a daughter or a sister, or a niece, would you really want to belittle their achievements, and their aspirations? Like, who would want to represent Ireland and for it to be a big deal? And I think if you win anything in your field, especially when you represent your country, it's a big deal. And I don't care if it's tiddlywinks or whatever it is. If you're if you're representing your country, it's a massive thing, and it's a massive thing in women's sports. It's Champions League. And it's a huge thing for Katie McCabe. It's a huge thing for Arsenal Football Club. And it's brilliant, and we should be happy for it. If it's not your thing, I understand that. But I think we should be a bit respectful. But we'll answer some of those comments because I can see them coming in. But yeah, keep them coming in, guys. Keep your comments coming in. We will get to them. You know how it goes. About another 15, 20 minutes to chat, and then we'll delve in to the twilight zone. God, the last time we were on, Christ, do you remember the last time we were on? It was a bit mad, wasn't it? I think I creased over the last time we were live. I absolutely, yeah. So please, none of that. And of course, well, a little bit more controversially, Robbie Keane, he has won his second league title as a manager. There he is. They're celebrating with Ferencváros, winning their 7th league title on the bounce. Congratulations, Robbie and his staff. This is a weird one, Connor, isn't it? This is the weird world of football and politics we find ourselves in, where Ireland's greatest ever goal scorer, top 5 in anyone's list of greatest Irish players of all time, if you're being honest and unbiased, and most goals, highest amount of goals, 68 goals, I think, off the top of my head, 68 goals for Ireland, 140, is it 48 appearances? Just off the top of my head, I could Google it. But anyway, and we're in this weird world where he is polarized, and you posted up on Twitter, and we're not gonna give credit to those, but we had a few RC comments on there, and I just want to say, Terry Moore, if you're listening, I know we don't always agree on anything. However, thank you for having Connor's back there and seeing the common sense and calling out the common sense on Twitter. That's what I'm going to say. And if your man wants to come after me, go for it. Not Terry, but the other fella. Fucking go for it. Anyway. Just keyboard warriors, man. But anyway.
Don't worry, because I don't really like to entertain comments like that, Dave. As I said to you, I just ignore them, really. And the thing is, I don't even see comments like that until someone actually sent it to me earlier, and that was it. That's when I seen it. When I seen it this morning, when someone sent it to me. So like, most of the time I don't see comments really in posts, so it doesn't faze me. You like to get more stuck in and personal with it, but I try to avoid it.
I normally let the Roar faithful do the talking, or those in Lansdowne ROAR when people come after me. But I will point out in factualities and say, well, hold on, actually, no, that's not correct. Call me out. I'm far from perfect, but call me out for shit I've done, or, shit I've not done, or don't make something up, or, but anyway, that's,
but the thing is, Dave, the reality is, we all know what happened in the past with Robbie Keane. I don't agree with it, really. I don't think you probably agree with it. But at this stage now, I've kind of moved on with it in terms of, obviously, there's bigger and bigger things in football in the world that I think 99% of people watching this video will totally agree with. But we didn't come on here. We just come here to talk about football. Like, we just come here to talk about him winning the league title with Ferrum Forest and
Yeah.
um, how delighted we are to see him win a league title. Like, and obviously we don't agree what's happened in the past. His legacy has been tarnished a bit in
Mhm.
Ireland, which we can't ignore, and that we're not doubting. Like, but we just want to see an Irish manager do well and see the future of Irish football in terms of a coaching perspective be as positive looking as it is in terms of on the field. And listen, himself, Rory Delap was there on the backroom staff as well, another ex-Ireland international, doing quite well with Robbie Keane. And I know people are saying, "Oh, can't believe, he just won a league title with someone's won 7 in a row." But he he came in because the last manager was sacked, which shows that they were in a bit of a rut. And he has helped turn it around, and he seemed to have very good celebrations last night. You could see it all over social media. He was loving it, and he seemed to have a bit pickup of, was it, to get bang his forehead or something celebrating. But I don't think he minds too much. He seemed to really enjoy he seems to be enjoying his time in Hungary so far, and that's him qualified for the Champions League now. So it's a huge moment for himself and what he's achieved so far in football. And the thing is, like, despite what's happened in the past, I still wish him all the best in terms of the rest of his coaching career. And
Well,
that's it, really.
that's it. You know, like, at the end of the day, like, world's an awful place. World is shit right now. Like, it's awful, dreadful place. You look at everything that's going on in the world. We're here to talk about football. We're here to talk about that, and just try to have that little bit of escapism and offer that escapism to the Royal faithful, to ourselves. You know, you know how it is, kind of like one of us, could have a bad day. You know yourself, lot going on with personal life at the moment, and then it's like, I come on here and I enjoy it, love it, love talking to you, love talking to Martin, love talking to the Raw faithful out there having a bit of crack. It's escapism. You know, we're here to talk about football, and that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll talk about politics. Go on to a
That's true.
politics podcast. Now, you
That's
want
true.
to talk about war. Now, I'm your no, but like, just, it's football. No, fair play to Robbie, and yeah, his reputation is tarnished. It was tarnished before he went to Israel over the whole FAI thing. I don't want to get dragged into that again, but that's the truth of it. But I do wish him well as a coach. I do think. Do you think he'd be accepted? I think there'd be a backlash of degree, but do you think the majority of football fans? Because when I put anything up about Robbie Keane, right? I'm just scrolling now through my pictures here, and I put that up there. Got 1.5 thousand likes, right, and then had over 286 comments of congratulating him. And you get the usual stuff like, "Oh, it was his dream country." His dream team to manage all this, his boyhood club, all that usual stuff. But then you have people going on, "Well done, Robbie. Fair play to you. A legend for Ireland, blah, blah." And then you get the usual stuff about Palestine, Israel. And also some taking exception to apparently Ferencváros are a far right team. Allegedly, I don't know. I haven't properly looked into that, to be honest. Do you think if let's say he did really well, he went off somewhere else, and he qualified for Europe, did quite, and the offer came up, and he took over as Ireland manager, do you think he'd be accepted?
No, I don't think so. No, I
You don't think so?
No, I just don't think he would. I don't think anytime soon, anyway. I don't think in the next 5 years he would be accepted really as Ireland manager by a lot of people. Yeah. So no, I don't think he would be accepted anytime soon. I think he'd probably have to go and achieve bigger and better things at a higher grade of football, really.
No, don't get me wrong. What I mean is, like, if he goes out and has a brilliant club career and he goes off somewhere else, I don't know, has
Yeah.
he does well in Europe, or let's say he wins a Europa League or something with Ferencváros, or something like that, or goes somewhere else and he does well. I don't know, maybe ends up with an English team and gets him promoted to the Premier League, and he's offered, and he comes in. I mean, to be fair, if he's doing that well, he probably wouldn't take the Ireland job. But do you think fans would accept him if he came back, if he arrived back in these shores as like a high top level manager? Do you think all of that would be forgotten about?
No, I don't think so. I think it would probably still be like a 60-40, 70-30 split in terms of people's judgment, because a lot of people a lot of people are very anti him still. And the thing is, I know if you look at the audience, if you look at like Instagram audience, people on Instagram aren't too. He's still quite popular. Come to Twitter, people are very anti Robbie Keane. Come to Facebook, I think it's more of a 50-50 split, maybe 60-40 in the direction they don't like him. But it depends what your audience is. I just think any time in the next probably 5-10 years could be too soon, to be honest, because people still have that opinion on him. But I don't know. It just seems too soon anyway.
Fair. No, it's just interesting. I think he would be accepted. I think there'd be a lot of boo, like as you said, to be a split. But I think if he came in, I think football fans can be very fickle. Things get forgotten about. Like if he came in and let's say he lost his first 3 matches, it'd be like, it'd all be thrown in his face. But if he won his first 3 matches, I think people go, okay, and it would just sort of they'd back away. That's just my opinion. But we'll agree to disagree on that one. But anyway, Robbie Keane, of course, is assistant to Roy Delap, winning the title in Hungary, where of course we're playing in November. Yeah, and some cracking news here. The under-17s, of course, going to the World Cup. The draw has been made. Group J for Juliet, for those of you who know the phonetic alphabet. Do you know the phonetic alphabet, Connor?
Nope. No, never learned it. Too young. I didn't do that in school.
But I didn't do it in school. I didn't do much in school. I just created my own religion in school. True story. But anyway, so yes, they are in Group Juliet, J for Juliet, and they have Paraguay, Uzbekistan, and Panama. And as you say, Connor, that is an ideal draw for the boys in green. Can't wait for the tournament. Those games will be played. I've got the information here. We play Panama on the 5th of November, and we play Uzbekistan on the 8th of November, and we play Paraguay, our final group game, on the 11th of November. And hopefully, we'll progress into the knockouts. Speak.
Yeah, I'm delighted with that draw. In fairness, you kind of like it seems to be countries like Uzbekistan have improved a lot in terms of their underage setup and do quite well in these sort of tournaments. But as I've said to people back, it is whenever you avoid the likes of France and England and Argentina, Brazil. It's weird that we're talking about Ireland avoiding Brazil and Argentina anyway in tournaments, really. But like, and them sort of nations like Germany. I know Spain haven't qualified, but like the real big like top football and country nations that you expect to like compete to win it. When you avoid them in your group, you're kind of it's an ideal draw no matter what after that. And then it is kind of countries that probably hard to get a bit of research done on for an Ireland perspective, but they're all probably all quite good. Will do quite well in this tournament. There won't be easy pushovers, but it kind of is an ideal draw. It's what if you could have asked for who you want to avoid, you probably the top 10 teams you want to avoid be avoided. But no, it makes it even more excited for the tournament. I know the team has some preparation games not next week, the week after, when same as whatever Ireland are playing. I know they have 3 games playing in preparation, and they'll continue to prepare up to November. I expect this squad to do very, very well in this tournament. There's some absolutely outstanding talent in the team. If you finish top 2, you qualify automatically to the round of 32, and then the best cup. I don't know how many. A certain amount of best third place teams qualify still for the round of 32 after. So I guess pretty much if you pick up 4 points or 6 points, you'd be guaranteed to qualify. But Ireland should be going out there and looking to get all 9 points and qualify automatically for the round of 32, and then I'm guessing it goes off seeding from then on, which is because it's a big tournament. Like it's an expanded tournament for this year in Qatar, and it'll be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Someone hopefully sponsor a rep tracker to go to all the games, which would be good. But
what do you mean rep tracker? What about us? What's going on there?
No, just one person needs to sponsor this. All right, I'll be all right. You can say it. You can watch them at home. We try and learn all their names, how to pronounce it. No, I can't wait. I'm actually buzzing for it now. It gets these sort of tournaments getting closer, and I'm looking forward to how it goes, and that is something that hopefully the country will be excited for. I know a lot of people are asking, are RTE going to show the games? I'm guessing so. I'd imagine so. They'll have the rights or themselves a Virgin, or there will be some sort of streaming site that will host all the games. If it's UEFA.com or something, but all the games will be shown. It's just I don't know what they'll be shown on yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, can't wait for it. It's always great to see an Irish team at a competition like that. It's fantastic. I can remember back in '98 when we won the under-16s and under-18s under Brian Kerr.
Yeah, but that was yours, wasn't it?
Euros, yep,
Yeah, this is the
fantastic.
World Cup. We're going to win the World Cup.
Could do. Finished third then in the under 21s World Cup, was it? We finished third then. Got a bronze medal. Fantastic. But as we found out, youth football does not always transcend into senior football. But anyway, no, fantastic stuff there. Right, we see the comments coming in. Just under 900 of you watching us live here on a Sunday night. That is absolutely brilliant. Of course, it's a bank holiday weekend here in the United Kingdom, where Connor and I are broadcasting from. Right, let's get into.
yeah.
Let's get.
It's not a bank holiday here, is it?
In UK, yes, it is, Connor, where you're broadcasting.
No, it's not. It's not here in Ireland.
Let's get into and then we'll get into the comments. And there's a few there's a few doozies coming our way, Connor. I think we're slowly being dragged into the twilight zone, so that's going to be interesting. Right, let's get into goalies now. These are just players who were playing, were involved, and are in the squad. So it's quite a skewered version. Okay, it's a streamlined version, and that's why we've done it. Because if it were during this, because the season's over for a lot of the players, so that's why we've done it like this. If it was just in the middle of the season, we would have lads explaining why they weren't playing, because obviously, they're either injured, suspended, or out of favor. So that's why we've done it, in case people start asking, because we do get questions about that. All right, let's get to the goalies. This is a bumper one. Craving Keller, an unused sub in Liverpool's 1-1 draw with Crystal Palace, where he lifted the Premier League title. And of course, Josh Keeley, 90 minutes and 1-0 loss against Charlton, which we spoke about at length there.
Last time with Craving Callagher sitting on the bench, we hope. The very last time he played, they should give him 20 minutes there, just throw him on a half time. But hopefully that was his last time involved in a Liverpool shirt. It looks like with Florian Wirtz going to Liverpool, that Bayern Leverkusen want a player, or is it Liverpool want to include a player as part of the deal? It wouldn't be a bad spot now for Callagher to go. I've seen that Leverkusen are looking to strengthen the goalkeeper position, so I wouldn't be against it.
Well, I mean, Newcastle qualified for the Champions League as well after Villa. Oh, that was a tough one for Villa, but Newcastle back in there. But, I don't think are Newcastle going to stay in the Premier League. They'll have a season in the Premier League. Will they get back again? They had a massive problem adding to their squad. So I don't know. I want Quaven Gallagher. I wouldn't have an issue with him going to the Bundesliga and then maybe coming back to the Premier League.
No, as long as because if you're going to Bayern Leverkusen, you're playing in the Champions League every year, so that's grand. Like you're in a top 5 league and you're playing. You don't have to worry about coming back to the Premier League unless you're going to a top 6 side.
But that's what I was going to say until he cut me off. Thanks, Connor. Wait till I see you next week. Is it next week or the week after?
Week after, mate.
Week after. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if he goes to Bayern Leverkusen, guaranteed Champions League football, probably go deep in the tournament as well, or deep enough in it, you are. And then, come back for like a top 2 or 3, top 4 Premier League team, and where he's guaranteed Premier League football, Champions League football. Because let's be honest, he's a top tier goalkeeper, and he should be playing in the Champions League, and he shouldn't be sitting on anyone's bench. Well, Liverpool, okay, you got Alisson, who's arguably the best goalie in the world, so we'll let him off with that one. But he's a tippy top goalkeeper, so hopefully now he's going to go to a tippy top club. Josh Keeley, where do you reckon Josh Keeley will go next season? Obviously he goes back to Spurs. That's where he's on loan from. It's a shame actually, because if Orient had gone up, he probably couldn't have gone back to Orient.
Yeah, it would have been the obvious one, but there's a lot of interest in him from a lot of very, very big clubs, and I know he'll go away on pre-season with Spurs anyway, and then probably it'll be assessed where he goes on loan. I'd say most likely from there. I don't know if he'll go Championship or go to a very good European league, but he'll have plenty of options anyway. So
yeah, there's a lot of criticism out there for Josh Keeley. I'm going to get to that in the comments, but people have to remember, because I said it to you, like, is he a ball playing goalkeeper? Said yes, and we both agreed you're not going to see that in League One. It doesn't matter how good you are on the ball. if you've got 4 lads in front of you who can't pass, who aren't comfortable on the ball, you're not going to pass it to them. So you're going to hit it long. And that was his.
It's just the manager's instructions. Like the manager
Yeah.
tells a player what to do, and if the manager's telling Josh Keeley, as good as he is with his feet, that you have to kick it long or you have to hit it out of play. I know that's some of his tactics where some of the games was hit it as far and out of play as possible that you could do. So
yeah,
it's he'll benefit from going up the ladder as well. Especially if he would have went back to Leighton Orient next season, knowing it would have been a very tough season. The reality is they would have probably got relegated straight back down, and it would have been constant facing shot after shot, which isn't great for a goalkeeper to be conceding that many goals. We've seen how bad that was for Bazuni's confidence, so you wouldn't want to see that happen to Keeley.
Maybe you go to Southampton. I know Henderson's going, isn't he? He won't stay in Southampton.
Henderson? Ramsdale.
Oh, Ramsdale, sorry.
No, for sure. You'd hope that Bazuni would probably go back there, but
Henderson's Palace, isn't he? Sorry.
Yeah. So I think it looks like Southampton probably have given up on Bazuni at this stage, probably. But
I think he needs to go.
Yeah, just a refresh. But no, I don't know if he goes to Southampton or not. But no, he'll have loads of options where he can go next season. So I'm not too worried.
Fair. Right, let's move it on to the defenders. And of course, if I got anything wrong, I do apologise. Won't get the fucking graphics wrong though. Seamus Coleman injured, unfortunately. Just wanted to explain that one away. As we know, in the last game of Goodison Park. Nathan Collins, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw with Wolves. We're going to talk about him in a second. Matt Doherty, 87 minutes in a 1-1 draw with Brentford, the same game, of course. Joshua Honohan, 71 minutes in a 2-1 win over Derby City for Shamrock Rovers. Jacob Ryan, 90 minutes in a 1-1 over Newcastle for Everton. They finished 13th this season. Darrell O'Shea, 90 minutes in a 3-1 loss against West Ham for Ipswich Town. Ipswich down, really. Liam Scales, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw with Aberdeen. They lost 4-3 on penalties. Now, we want to talk a little bit there about Nathan Collins. History maker, Connor. I don't
know if that's is it considered history making?
Don't know. It was your headline. You told me to put it on. I
don't know. Well, it is history. If you look at the record books and say who played the most minutes from an outfielder this season, you would see Nathan Collins' name there.
History for this season.
But it's not like he's the first ever player to play every single minute. But no, was it 3,420 minutes or something he played?
Yeah.
In the Prem this season, which is quite exceptional. Never looked out of place. Can't think of one bad game he had. Every time he played in Sky, it seemed he got man the match by the Sky commentators every week. And finished 10th in the league. I think it was 11 on points with Bournemouth, weren't they? 56. And I think they'll be very happy with that season. There's no surprise that we're seeing stuff linking Nathan Collins to bigger clubs, and probably big transfer fees will be thrown about for him this summer. And whether he stays at Brentford or not, I don't think Dave were too worried, because he's already at a very, very good Premier League side that if he stays there for the next year or two, we're not too fussed. But if he goes to the next level and goes to a Champions League club or goes somewhere in Europe that takes him to the next level, we'd be happy with either. So he's an exceptional centre back. He's future Ireland captain if you don't consider him the captain at the moment. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to Collins this summer and seeing him again playing for Ireland in a week and a half.
I think he's maybe a season or two off from being. He just needs to. There's a couple of things about his game he needs to iron out a little bit. But he's young. He is young, and especially for Ireland, there's a bit of naivety about his play. Especially Ireland tries to do too much. He just needs to mature a little bit. But he's got all the minerals. He's got all the ingredients.
The thing I'd say, Dave, is like you'd kind of like. I'm not really saying that he should be going to Liverpool or Man City or something. I think like if it's the Spurs, even playing Champions League, going to a Newcastle, playing in Champions League, going to Aston Villa bottled it today, but Aston Villa, like something like that you're at least playing in Europe in some context. Like a lot of teams would probably throw 50 million or 40 million at Brentford for him to play at that level, and you wouldn't say that's like he's going to the very top of football. Like I know he'll be playing in the major competitions, but like you can still go up a level from there if you get me. So
no, I agree. I think he's 2 seasons away from playing at a tippy top club, as long as he stays injury free. Because we saw what happened to Seamus Coleman. That injury against Wales. Was it Munich he was on his way to? Someone told me.
Yeah, it was Munich. Philip Lahm was when Philip Lahm was retiring.
Yeah, and Coleman, God, he was such a great player. Best right back in the Premier League, I believe, at that time. So he needs to stay injury free, Nathan Collins, and please God he does. And either gets a move goes up a level.
I think Newcastle could be the perfect club for him. I think
Newcastle would be great, and then on to
because Fabian Schär is quite injury no, he's not injury prone. He's quite old. Like he's getting on in his years, and Sven Botman is quite injury prone. They need a centre half anyway, even for depth wise. So I think he'd go in there. I think he's the type of player who could go to Newcastle and stay there for the rest of his career and be a club legend at sort of Newcastle and play in the Champions League with them next season. Like, because the thing is, with the money they have, I know the fact that they have Champions League this year, they can actually spend money again. So it could be a great next step for Nathan Collins, someone like Newcastle. And the thing is, if you go to that level, like even though he could get the stage, oh yeah, he's good enough to play for a top club, you might want to stay there because he's going to be playing Champions League or he's going to be competing for trophies.
He needs to be playing in Europe for him to go. Like, he could play for Ireland, a little bit naive at times, tries to overdoes it with Ireland, but he's a good player. Needs to show what he could do in Europe, and then if he has a good couple of years in Europe, I think a top team, a tippy top team will come in from as long as he stays injury free and he remains on an upward trajectory. That's what I think, anyway. But no, excellent to see. And by the way, tribute to his professionalism to play every game. Brilliant professionalism there from Nathan Collins, and he showed up for every Ireland camp that he was involved. Like he was. I know he's dropped a couple of times over the season, but he was always there, always showed up. Fantastic. So well done to you, young man. Right, on to the midfielders. It's quite short as well. Will Smallbone, 11 minutes and a 2-1 loss against Arsenal for Southampton. Championship team next season. Jack Taylor, 12 minutes and a 3-1 loss against West Ham, also a championship team next season. And John Joe Patrick Finn, 16 minutes and a 3-0 loss against PSG for Stade Ram in the French Cup final. Nothing really to add there, is there?
Well, John Patrick actually seen his cameo actually done quite well when he came on. He quite positive when he came on. And he tried to get involved and stuff, so it was quite good to see him at least trying to make something happen. I know the game was gone at that stage, but I can't really ask much for him when he came on. And he looks like someone could hopefully add something to the Ireland squad this in a week and a half, and hopefully will do well. They still have a massive game on Thursday, the biggest game of their season, which is probably way more important than cup final, the second leg of their relegation playoff. Like, we don't want to see him get relegated, because the reality is probably if they get relegated, he's probably not going to leave. I don't think he would probably leave. So you would want to see him playing in the second tier of France, which would affect his Ireland chances really. But no, hopefully he can do well on Thursday, because I know he came off at halftime in the first leg because they kind of went 4-4-2 and he played right mid and then they went 1-0 down. So hopefully at home they can kick on and himself can really push on, and we can see hopefully next season Ike Razi break into the first team there and not playing in the second tier. But Smallbone actually was quite poor for the Arsenal winner today. He kind of let Odegaard kind of just walls past him. He probably should have done more to hold him up a bit.
Do you know, I didn't see any of the football in the Premier League because getting back from Wembley was a nightmare. A nightmare. It never used to be that bad. I used to work at Wembley. It never used to be that bad. If you gave it an hour and a bit, it would clear after the final whistle, and everyone buggered off. I was only 74,000. It was so bad, Connor. So bad.
Every time I went for finals and stuff, but the reality is, Dave, when one team wins, and especially when it was Charlton fans were the ones that would have been staying on late with the bigger fan base, they would have been coming out of the ground like an hour, 45 minutes after because of celebrations and stuff. So
still only about 30,000, they should if 3 stations.
Did they have the stopping thing with the stop sign? We have to stop.
Yeah,
I've done that. Annoying. It's so annoying.
Well, that's to be fair, that's the east congestion in the station, because if you look at Wembley Park Station, it is not fit for purpose. It's got like little sort of troughs and little like corridors. It's not fit for purpose. That needs a serious redesign. But they've got Wembley Central, Wembley City, I believe, and they've got Wembley Park, and it's just literally, it was a nightmare to get out of. So I saw no football other than the match was at. So, but I'm not going to complain because I had a good day. Right, moving on to the attackers. Not a short one. Ryan Manning, unused sub for Southampton. I know he's not an attacker, but he's down like that in the squad, so shut up. Festy Abasela, first start, 78 minutes and a 3-2 loss against Adana. Man of the match as well, I believe. Evan Ferguson, not in the squad for West Ham. We're going to talk about that. Adamida, 66 minutes and a 1-1 draw with Aberdeen, because lost 4-3 and penalties. Casey McAteer, 86 minutes and 2-0 loss against Bournemouth. Came off injured. Troy Parrott, he was back in a 3-2 win over FC20 for AZ Alkmaar. Sammy Smodic back as well for Ipswich against West Ham. A lot to talk about there. Festy,
Yeah,
First start, did quite well. Got 8 out of 10 on SofaScore.
yeah, he got an 8 rating, which is a very good rating. Like it's in one of the top tier ratings. Like he had, if you look at his stats, 2 tackles, one tackle, 4 key passes, 2 big chances created. He was fouled 3 times. He won 12 duels. He completed 7 out of 9 dribbles, which shows he was probably back to his old self of just taking the ball on and knocking past people and
Played
running
as a
it. And
right back.
yeah, he played as a right back, so he was kind of up and down. You see him by, if you look at his heat map, it seemed like he had a very, very effective game. 79 touches, so you could tell he was getting. I know I'm going off stats here, but none of us seen this. Hopefully, I'll see the highlights on YouTube later if they're on YouTube. Would never want to see him. Oh, sorry. I would want to see them on YouTube later if they post highlights. I don't know what Istanbul do in terms of highlights, but it's very positive, and it shows that as much as we want Fessy probably to play as a right winger for Ireland or a wing back, if we need to play him right back, he will still do a good job there because he's a very talented player, and it's something that we needed was him to come back and kick on, and that 78 minutes will be huge now coming into June, because I do think if he hadn't have started the game before the June window, I'd say it would have been extremely unlikely he would have started against Senegal. But now I would say it's probably he's given himself a real chance to start in that first game with the fact he got 78, 79 minutes in the legs today.
Yeah, he's a very important player for us. You know, Fessy's a very important player for us now, and looks like he's back. Hopefully, he will play against Senegal. And yeah, we missed him in the last couple of games. Evan Ferguson. We're not going to go too mad about that because we know exactly, but it's kind of fitting end really.
Yeah,
not even in the squad. He wasn't injured or anything, was he? Just
we don't know. They probably just said to him, "Go get your holidays early. We're planning for next season." There was no sign of anything. Yeah, so I'd imagine he was just given the weekend off or told you can take your holidays early, because I hope it's not an injury, because I wasn't surprised, honestly, not to see him involved today. It's not a surprising thing like that he wasn't involved today, because they're moving on to the next season and there's no real benefit in them playing him today. So
I've some very disturbing news actually coming out here about Evan Ferguson. Connor, I just want you to just compose yourself. But he is Evan Ferguson. I can't believe I'm saying this. He is linked with Celtic. Yeah, that's it. Connor's had enough.
That's enough of me.
He is. According to the Daily Record and a few other places, Evan Ferguson has used Celtic transfer pitch with Garazzi price set as O'Reilly bid sends paydays into overdrive. That's from Mark Perry, assistant live sports editor. If you know, you consider Celtic. Well, he's been urged, I suppose. It's not quite a link. He's been urged to go. No,
leave Eden and Johnny Kenny there. Let them ball out in Scotland. Like we don't want. Yeah, we don't want other lads getting in the way of other lads' development. We let other lads play in for Celtic, and we let Evan go to a different club.
We know Evan Ferguson would get 50 goals in his first match at Celtic. But yeah, no, he's far too good for the Scottish League.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely tore apart for that.
But yeah, it was good now in terms of other attackers away from Evan. Great to have Sammy Smodik's back heading, because we were worried that I think if he wouldn't have played today, we probably wouldn't have seen him feature for him. He might still not come in, but no, it's still huge that he got a couple of minutes today. He'll probably come off the bench against Senegal, and then probably start against Luxembourg, which will be huge. And yeah, it was Adamida got 65 minutes in Celtic's loss. I only seen bits and bobs. I was switching between that and the playoff final, which is not, because the Scottish match wasn't a great watch at times, but either was to the playoff final, in fairness as well. But I thought Johnny Kenny took his penalty well, which is great to see come on and make that impact of scoring from the spot. I know I don't know why Jamie McGrath wasn't involved for Aberdeen. I seen he was pictured in the stand in his suit. I was trying to find out whether he was injured or not, or whether he was just left out because he's leaving in the summer. But I thought it'd been a bit. You think they did want the strongest squad possible if trying to win a cup final, but they won it without him.
Maybe that was the strongest squad
Yeah,
possible.
maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I seen his video today of him singing about. Suppose he was singing about Hibs. They were all singing about Hibs falling apart or something, and he was joining in one and him signing for Hibs in the summer.
Yeah. Fair play. He seems to fall out of clubs, doesn't he? A little bit when he's there. Like he went to Wigan, didn't he? Where was he before? He went to Wigan, St Mirren, wasn't it?
Yeah, St Mirren.
But that was St Mirren. Went to Wigan, didn't happen from there.
What do you mean he fell out of St Mirren?
Well, yeah,
No,
he
was.
did.
He was doing brilliantly at St Mirren. That's why
No,
he got the move to Wigan.
No, but he was. But it was a bit of an acrimonious split, if I remember correctly. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll apologise. Was it not an acrimonious split?
I don't remember. I thought himself and Conor Ronan were absolutely brilliant for St Mirren at one stage. I remember the two of them.
I'm not doubting that. But go on, put it in your Google machine. I'm pretty sure he had Jamie McGrath.
Because then he went from Dundalk to St Mirren.
He's St Mirren, right? But there's no hiccup this time. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there was something like he wanted to go, and yeah. Goodwin has told Jamie McGrath to focus on playing for the club system. Midfield remains part of his plans. If I remember correctly, he wanted to go sooner, but he had a bit of a fallout with him over it.
Yeah, I don't. But I remember whatever way that move to Wigan was a disaster.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's one of the worst moves I've ever seen.
He wanted to, if I remember correctly, he wanted to leave and he kind of wouldn't, and it got a little bit silly, and they left him out of the squad. I remember that. By the way, over 1,200 of you watching us here on a Sunday night. Thank you very much for your support. The Roar faithful, you gotta love it. You guys are amazing out there. I see one there. Oh, can someone tell me how Nathan Collins made history? I haven't got time to watch the full 4-hour podcast. Why?
Literally.
Exactly. What else you do?
Minutes, yeah. Just go to the start of IBIG. That's when we started talking about Collins.
And come on.
Yeah. And just on some sad news, it seems like Casey McAteer went off injured today, which is not the greatest thing. 86 minutes he played, which was he must have been on course to play all 90, and then he had to come off injured. What was he, turned his ankle or something? Which is
he's starting to hit.
Yeah. He was. What's he start last like 5 games in a row for Leicester, which is good. And then he'll hopefully he'll kick on next season more in the Championship, starting every week. And he seemed to be quite liked by Van Nistelrooy, actually, really, since they've got relegated anyway. But which is disappointing because you think he probably would have started for Ireland if he's. Well, you have to hope that there's nothing too serious and he's just twisted his ankle and it's just a bit of a turn, like. But hopefully
starting to show that promise, wasn't he? He was starting to find his feet, literally. Nistelrooy won't be there, I doubt, next season. But he's starting to find his feet. So look, hopefully it's just a minor injury and he's back. He's playing the squad. I'd like to see, because we need a player like Casey McAteer, and he'd be in the Championship, and I think that'd be good for him. It'd be a good level for him to play at. Anyway. That is Troy Parrott back in action. They won, so he's in Europe next season again.
Yeah, Conference League. They've qualified for the Conference League after winning in Holland. They have the European playoff semi-final and final, which he came on the other night in the first leg, or not the first leg, the semi-final. Came on tonight with 10 minutes to go with the tie 2-2, and he played a big part in the winner. His shot was rebounded, and then I think it was Paku tapped it in. So played a huge part in that winner, and that has sent them into Europe for next season. I'd imagine he'd probably still be there next season. Although the boy that actually started over him the other night on his return from injury scored a hat-trick the other night and then scored one tonight. But he's been on the bench all season for Troy, so I think Troy's a lot highly thought of. It just he scored that hat-trick the other night. But hopefully, I'm sure there'll be interest in Parrott in the summer. It's just how far that interest actually goes or not. Yeah,
absolutely. No, fantastic stuff. Right, let's get into it. Let's get into the comments. Oh, we've gone a little bit over, chatting away there. Just before we do, don't forget, guys, please do like the video. Really does help. Just hit that like button there. It will move us up in the algorithm. Also, if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't be an illegal watcher. Connor, what happens if there's an illegal watcher?
Yes, I was going to say the usual, but Prandy's not here, so that's probably why Prandy's not here tonight. Yeah. Prandy's been sick of people not subscribing, and so that's it really. We'll just get Prandy after you. We'll get Prandy after you, and we don't want an Englishman coming after an Irishman. We did not want that.
Wow. I didn't expect to go there, but there you go. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are trying to grow. Tell your friends and family fabulous prizes to be won. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter. And also, if you want to get opinion, head over to lansdowneroar.ie. With lots of League of Ireland stuff over there as well. Right, let's get into your comments. Right, so we've a load of stuff coming in there. Actually, do you know what I forgot to mention? So
Well,
I just want to erase the I got it there. Can I find it here? Hold on. We forgot to mention that we have a live show coming up in. Have I got it here? Yes, sorry. So we will have a live interview in the Claddering if you're in the London area. Here we go. David Ford live interview and a book signing. It is going to be in the Claddering there. You can see Church Road, 10 Church Road, Northwest 4. It's a live signing. It's going to be on the 20th of June, 8 p.m. Martin's going to be interviewing David Ford. £30 gets you a copy of the book, get a sign, and it's also food, free food with your ticket as well. And it all goes to Hacks, a fantastic charity there. So if you're in the London area, come and join us. I'll be there. Connor will be there as well. Those of you in the Roar faithful, come along and say hello. We will be live in the Claddering there, of course, in association with Hacks and Risk. There you go. David Ford, nice man as well. I can't wait to have a proper read of his book too. So yeah, come and join us for that. £30. Not a bad L night, is it? Free food.
Well, but the problem is you're going, so which isn't.
Yeah, it should be £50. £50 just for me. You can sit there.
I work in euros. So what about if people work in euros?
£50 about like €5 million. Anyway, let's get to your comments. Let's have a look. Alex, evening lads. Evening, Alex. How are you on this fine Sunday bank holiday weekend here in the UK? Ushy Fitzgerald, what are the boys saying? Sense. That's what we're saying there. Oh yeah, see your picture there of your avatar of Ida patting the head of Sinclair Armstrong. Yeah, didn't do much though, did he, in the cup final? Ida. Celtic Symphony, is that the same Kelly, I presume Keely, that Connor was screaming at his phone over the other night? He seems tiny in the goals. Awful goal to concede here. He's just cost his club millions of pounds. No, I think that's a bit harsh. Celtic, yeah, okay, he should have done better, but sorry, Connor.
The thing is, he's made them a lot of money this season. That goal he scored in the FA Cup, all the penalty shootouts that they won because of him. They got to Wembley because he saved the penalty in the shootout. So, yeah,
that's Celtic.
So he's made them a lot of money, and he's about to make Spurs probably a lot of money in the future.
Exactly. Baylor, shocking that you guys didn't have Ditsy as a player of the year option. Even more shocking that Ditsy's chip didn't win goal of the season. I'm extremely disappointed. Well, I already had to explain my choice to Josh Keaty's dad. Yeah, Connor, why didn't you go for Ditsy? You're always going on about him.
Oh, yeah, I remember too. Sometimes I just have to spice things up and go for someone different for once.
No comments.
You know what I mean? You can't be biased all the time.
yeah, really.
I wasn't biased with any of my choices.
Yeah, well, at least not like Martin. I love the sound that it made off the net.
he only liked it because it happened in London, and the event references London. He just loves it because it was at Craven Cottage. Oh yeah, that was great.
I do love Craven Cottage, to be fair. One of my old haunts. Oldie 420, good man. E. Cashin's move to Brighton made another one of our young players a Premier League bench warmer. Yeah, Aaron Cashin was on the bench, but he wasn't. He's not in the squad, and I think we're going to have to forget about him for a little bit now. Maybe a terrible move, Connor. Terrible move.
I just don't. You just because you don't know what Brighton. You always expect them because they've done this before with players like Casado, where they just don't play the first 6 months to go off, or they play with the 21s, or they're just training with the team every day, and then you just expect that all of a sudden he'll just come into the team and turn into a superstar. They're that sort of team. You just expect Cashin, like no one's not that worried with him because they just expect him he'll eventually just get a chance and then he'll be fully embedded in the system. Like, because you always think with that a club like Brighton, they have a plan of how they're going to develop Cashin into a Premier League quality centre half, because it's not like he's just coming into any Premier League side. He's coming into a or they finished in they finished 8th. They got Europe in the end, didn't they? They got the last European place. So listen, like he'll be probably playing plenty of minutes next season, especially with the Conference League brought in. I'm honestly not too worried. It's disappointing that he didn't come in and start playing straight away, but I expect next season we'll probably see a lot more Aaron Cashin, especially with pre-season and stuff. The thing is, if you ever watched him play for Derby, he was absolutely brilliant. I remember saying to you, Dave, on here how good I thought he was, and then a couple of weeks later, he was signing for Brighton, and so no, I'm not worried. It's been a disaster so far. That can be said, but I expect that the fortunes to soon change.
It's kind of funny when you were talking about what Brighton do. Liverpool used to do that. They used to get a player from Ireland, throw him into the reserves, and just get him playing for a year. Just play reserves, and then they'd throw them into the first team and see they either they would sink or swim. And so no, I hope it does work out from there. Adam Curtis, Connor, how far do you think the U17s could go in the World Cup, and who are 1 or 2 players to watch out for in the squad?
Gonna win it all? No, but this squad could easily get to a quarterfinal, semi-final, and you never know what happens from there. But like this Ireland squad, there's a lot of talent in there. They could get very far. Dave could tell you who the talent is in the squad.
I could, but I won't, Connor. I'm not going to take your moment from you. So
come on, you should know. You should know one player. You should know one player at least that I know. That I talk
Jordan
about.
Uma.
Who?
Uma?
What's his first name?
Jordan, isn't it? Jordan Uma?
Jaden Uma.
Jaden Uma.
Yeah, Jaden Uma is one that is probably the obvious one. Then you've like Michael Noonan will very likely come into the squad for that as well. After he was involved with the qualifiers, which would be a huge asset up front. And Rory Finneran, I think, is probably, he hits in it, but he's probably the next Declan Rice in terms of the way he plays and his ability in terms of Irish football. He's probably the next Declan Rice, but he won't be a turncoat. So he's an excellent player. There's loads of them. There's loads of talent in this team, and I'm sure a lot of people get to know them more. Like what actually happened in the past with the team that got to the Euros and got to the quarter final in the end. I'm sure people will take notice a lot more of these players now once they impress in the World Cup.
Yeah. Alex, fair play to Katie for being in a Champions League winning team, but people go overboard. I've seen folks saying she's Ireland's greatest ever athlete. Have you ever seen anything like it? To be fair, Alex, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Nothing against Katie McCabe. It's just this happens all the time. When Ireland wins something, if we were to win, if we had won the Grand Slam, just gone. This is Ireland's greatest moment, and we saw with other things. Rory McIlroy,
our greatest ever athlete.
Yeah, it gets ridiculous. Like let's just be happy for Katie McCabe, a world class player in the women's game, and she's won, and let's just be happy for them. But I do think people do get a bit silly with it. Jack O'Connor looking well in that photo, David. Jack, I always liked you, pal. Here we go. As a special treat, just as a special treat, guys. So I'm feeling generous. Here, have another look at this. Here we go. That's a bonus. That's a bonus episode right there. Do you know what, Connor? See that photo? Look at that. Look at the poise, the gait. Gorgeous. Do you know what we should do?
Joe Everett's reaction was to you looking at you on that screen.
It is a family. Well, yeah. And they would be right. They've got eyes. That could be bonus show. Do you know that could be a bonus show, Connor? We could just literally have 30 minutes of this. That's it. 30 minutes. And maybe I could read the phone book out for you guys. But there you go. Thank you very much for that, Jack. Flattery will get you everywhere. Martin Fitzpatrick, Sunderland back with Sunderland back. Will Cirkin play for us now? Well, after he played against Sheffield United, can fucking keep him.
Yeah,
he was terrible.
Just we've a new guest in the comments. No, if you look at the very bottom, Dave, most recent, we've someone in the chat, a new member of the Roar Faithful. No,
he's back.
Yeah, but Cirkin, no, I don't think he's going to play for us. He's in the provisional squad for England for the under 21s Euro. Or like it's a training camp squad, and then I think he gets narrowed down. I thought he was dreadful, to be honest, in the final. He was quite poor, to be honest, in the semi-final as well. But no, he would improve Ireland with the weakness we have at left back, but he's not a player that we should be like, I can't believe. It's not like if Dewsbury Hall came into the Ireland squad, he'd make a massive, massive difference. But Cirkin, obviously, he's a good player. But if he doesn't play for us, I don't know you too fussed. Like, I know what the way the rules will change, he can still switch after the 21 euros, but I'm not too worried, to be honest. Like, if he wants to play for us, or great, he can play for us. But
Yeah,
if you don't want to play for us, move
very
on to the
nice.
next.
As you say, we need a left back, but it is what it is. Nick Scran. Yes, this is what Nick's talking about. My lovely cheeseburger that arrived with absolutely no cheese on it. It actually was quite nice. God, I make myself hungry. I am a fat fuck. Alex. Oh, what they do? Nathan Collins played all possible games in the Premiership. Hardly something to write home about. Yes, it is, Alex.
If he's one of
Yes,
one,
it is.
if he's one of one,
Yeah,
if he's one of one,
and it's the Premier League, not the
Yeah.
Premiership anymore. Now it's not the 90s. It's not the 90s anymore, Alex. Now, come on. Josh Keeley. I won. Next time I speak, please do listen. It took me one viewing to see Keeley isn't up to the level. Small on the goals, can't reach the corners today. You saw it on the big stage.
he's just going to be saying his shoulder blades aren't as dynamic as his knee flexion is, and he doesn't have enough ankle mobility to reach that ball. But yeah. But just on Alex's point, 542 players featured in the Premier League this season. If you minus goalkeepers, probably about 510, probably 515 players featured in outfielders played in the Premier League this season. And Nathan Collins was only one to play every single minute of every single game.
So have that, Alex.
Yeah, he's one of 500. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Alex. Huh?
And then Alex, Alex is shit housing us. Jack's comment there about Josh Keeley, and Alex goes, "I do remember you saying that, Jack. Good spot from you."
Was it say? There was someone who was going. I don't know. It was Ronaldo used to slag us about fucking Keeley saying,
"Oh, everyone slags it.
Sell him." But
Baylor, I'm glad.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, sorry. Baylor, I'm glad that Charlton won over Leighton Orient, but rather Coventry flourish in the Championship than Josh Keeley get another loan at a soon-to-be struggling Leighton Orient.
Well thought out process. Very good, well thought out, Baylor.
Yeah, I get. It's good to see. Yeah, like Conor Coventry now. If he's in the Championship, then that means he's yet again eligible for Ireland, really, isn't he? He was always on the precipice of it, wasn't he? He was called in for the England game, probably more out of geography now. Yeah. But
no, he's done well for them this season. What was he got? Players, fans or players player of the year. I can't actually remember. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Championship next season, because we've seen him play in the Championship before and he's done quite well. But hopefully it'll be a tough team to excel in next season is my only worry.
Yeah. Baylor says, get Josh Keeley a team abroad or loan in mid-high end Championship team. Donny Nagel, will Aaron Cassius stay Brighton next season, or is he deemed not good enough already? We did touch on that earlier on, Connor, just quickly on that.
Yeah, it was only 2 minutes ago, but no, it'll be. I think next season we'll see him transform into a Premier League player.
Ushy Fitzgerald, here Josh had a stinker, boys. What happened to him? That Brooks is way better than him, and Crawford thought so too. He did have a stinker, but I mean, he is only 22. Like, let's.
He did have a stinker performance. He just had one very bad moment. But no, Brooks is nowhere near on Josh Keeley's level. Like, Tiernan Brooks is about to get released by Gateshead in the National League. Josh Keeley's going to be at minimum playing in a Championship team next season. There's levels to it, Ushin, and the only reason that Keeley dropped out of the 21s or on the bench for the 21s at that stage is because, remember when he initially joined Leighton Orient, and they had stuck with the keeper that was there initially, and then Richie Wellens realised that Josh Keeley was a better keeper, and they went from the relegation zone to get into the playoff final with Josh Keeley in goal.
There's levels to it, Ushy.
There is levels to this game.
Why don't you just pat him on the head while you're on it? Jesus.
Yeah.
Sally Symphony, is McCabe winning the European Cup really that much of an achievement? I subscribe to a women's football tabloid, and the experts say she's had a subpar season. She's also been nothing short of a disgrace for the Irish team. I think you should keep personal relationships out of business. Focus on your football, for fuck's sake. Tell us what you really think, Celtic.
Yeah.
Look. I think it is a big.
Yeah, the thing is, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong what he said about the fact that he thinks she hasn't been good for Ireland, and the fact they keep business out of football. And there's nothing wrong with that opinion.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think it is worth highlighting that she has won a Champions League at the end of the day, playing at left back for Arsenal winning the Champions League. And the thing is, they were written off a lot. I remember seeing the Barcelona president saying that they were going to win the final, and people seemed to write Arsenal off. So no, it was. I think
Right.
she's representing our country and having the flag out and showing how much she loves representing us on the big stage.
And I think you're wrong there, Celtic, about like, is McCabe winning the European Cup really that much of an achievement? Yeah, it's the European Cup. Of course it is. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge in her field. As a massive thing in her field. And let's not diminish that. Let's not take it away. Now I get some of the stuff can get a little bit out of hand, but that happens at all when an Irish team wins something, an Irish player wins something, or but let's not try to diminish it, because I think that's a little bit below us here. It's a huge achievement for Katie McCabe. I do agree she has been below par for Ireland. A bit controversial. The whole Vera Pauw thing has not been good, and she's not alone in that either. But yeah, I think we need to, respect that. Gerard McGann, Lee Manning close to becoming Norwich City manager, probably makes Knight's decision a bit easier. That's a fair point, isn't it?
Is he a bit close to pick up on now? Is he? Is he? I haven't seen that. I know I've seen that Jack Wilshere had left, but I didn't know he was going to now.
Norwich City approached Lee Manning to be next manager. That was 2 hours ago. So this is breaking news. To be fair, that is breaking news, guys.
Yeah.
Says Donny Nagel. So well spotted, Donny. By the way, that's what I love about this, guys. Just like, sorry, what Gero just done there. Anything breaking, let us know about it. Say it in the comments, and we'll talk about it. Because if it's breaking while we're on, we're not going to see it. So
be interesting.
Thanks for that,
Gero. That might actually benefit Sinclair Armstrong a lot next season. That a manager might come in and play to his traits, not play against his traits. But anyway, but no, but then it'll probably make Jason Knight's decision easier to leave. But I think he would have left anyway, to be honest.
Get him in the Premier League. I want to see him in the Premier League. I think he's good enough for it. I'm not saying he's going to set the place alight, but he's good enough to be in the Premier League. Arsene Dalglish. Yeah. Evening, folks. Brilliant weekend for not just Irish football, but Irish sport. Katie McCabe has now reached icon status. What a warrior she is. If only she could tog out for the men's team, we'd be set. And he follows it up with, "Go on, Katie. Go on, Harrison.
Go on, Harrison. Go on, you. Big yourself up.
Come on, fair play to him." Donny Nagel, no more Kelleher bench at Liverpool or Hammers bench for Fergie. Much better days ahead for both. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's going to be, sorry, David, just came to me there that we need to announce to the fans that next week, whether Dave knows or not, there's going to be more videos based on the season next week. We'll be doing a team of the season, probably ranking the best Irish players of the season, the winners and losers, and Irish players that need a move this summer. So if there's any player that you want us to include in something like that or deserves a special mention, make sure you ask us, because I'm sure a lot of players you can end up skipping over. But Dave, go on and emphasize your point there on Kelleher and Evan Ferguson.
Yeah. No, I can't add more to that. No, as Evan Ferguson needs a pre-season. And he needs to hit the ground running. And as you say, Connor, he could be back at Brighton. By the way, 1,500 of you watching us live. Thank you very much for that, guys. Really do appreciate it. Oisin Fitzgerald here, boys. McGrath won silverware this weekend. And we have to spend 20 minutes talking about Katie losing the final. Why do you hate Scottish football so much? Well, he didn't play, did he?
He wasn't even in the squad, and he's leaving the club in the summer. Yeah. Plus, Dave was at the match today. And it's probably worth emphasising, talking about a match that Dave went to. And there was, in comparison, 3 Irish players played yesterday in the Scottish Cup final, whilst 4 played today. So, by the law of averages, we'd rather talk about 4 Irishmen rather than 3. And we did touch on it. Like, we're delighted to see how well Johnny Kenny's doing now, and that Ida has been on such good form as of late. And Liam Scales has broke back into the Celtic team, has become a mainstay at centre back again, which is great to see. But no, I was disappointed yesterday that Jimmy McGrath wasn't involved. I know Gavin Beloy's still injured, but it was disappointing. I thought it would have been good to see Jimmy McGrath on the pitch and bow out in a nice way. But
do you know what Oisin needs? Oisin, this is what you need. I'm going to solve this for you right now. That's what you need, Oisin. Just drink it in, man. Look at that smile, gait, poise, class. There you go. I think that just answers. We could actually just roll the credits now, Connor. What do you reckon? I think that's it. I don't hate. Well, I can't say I don't hate Scottish football after lambasting Scottish football.
You hate it more than I. You hate it a lot more than I do. But people just because I have a war between a couple of players. I've created a civil war.
we just have to be realistic about it, Oisin. Like it's not a very high standard. It's Celtic just winning it every year with Rangers winning the odd title. It's not really challenging, is it? Aberdeen have won, fair play, that's great. But Celtic were on the verge of winning a treble. They pissed the league, won the League Cup, and well, I didn't watch the match anyway. So you got to be honest. That's
They
what
should have. In
Lakers.
fairness, they should have won the match. They absolutely dominated until the last
Yeah,
10 minutes.
yeah. Daglish, are you taking the piss, Celtic? Cop on, you prick. He's had anything but a subpar season, says Harrison. And then he goes, is Evan Ferguson injured again? I did see Wesley McDonald mention it in the Telegram group chat earlier. Oh, Connor.
No, he asked, was he injured? I think he Wesley asked, was he injured? But we don't know. We're guessing that he just got the weekend off.
Yeah. Baylor, where do you think the League of Ireland equates to within the English league system, considering that the Scottish League is, for the most part, around League One level? Where would you say League of Ireland's at? I mean, I must say, there was, watching that game today, there was some absolutely appalling passages of football.
I know.
It was very bad at parts. And I've watched a bit of League One before, and it's normally kick and rush, which I think actually plays to your strength in League One. I think when you have players at that level and are trying to pass it around, it doesn't work. Yeah. Where would you put the League of Ireland?
It's hard because because I don't think at the moment there's very little difference in your League One and League Two side, unless you get the very top of League One. There is a huge, like your Birmingham's are light years ahead of it. But if you look at your lower league, because I don't think in terms of a lower League One team and a top League Two team, I don't think there's any difference there. But I could see Shamrock with the squad depth. I think it's the problem that Irish teams don't have the same, probably you'd say, squad depth to have, and then the same facilities to compete in terms of fitness wise over a course of the matches they play. But I would say a lot of them will compete with a lot of the higher up League Two teams and lower down League One, because I don't think there's any real difference in that. Like, because you look at teams that even they get promoted from the National League, they go up and get straight away promoted from the National League from League Two to League One, or even finishing the playoffs like
Wrexham.
Chesterfield. And Wrexham done that. Chesterfield finished in the playoffs this season. That's County have done it when they've got promoted. But yeah, because you look at a lot of League of Ireland players that do quite well. But no, so I don't think it's hard to compare because the style of football still is a bit different. Like, because certain teams try to play more football than the others.
I think I'm going to get pelted. I think Rovers would do very well in League Two. I think they would compete. They're definitely Rovers.
I think Rovers would compete in League Two and stay up in League One. I think that would be a good way of putting it, because there is a huge gap between top and bottom League One.
Because I mean, Rovers did it in Europe. They were very good in Europe last season. I am going to get battered for this, and I can see the text right now coming my way. But you have to, and that the Conference League is around that level, and Rovers were very comfortable until he went up against Chelsea, and what happened. The order of the world came back around. But I'd agree with that. I think League One and Two is a bit of a soup. Yeah, it's a bit of a mesh, really, and then you'll have one or two that'll kind of piss it and go out, and they normally get. I mean, Birmingham got smashed League One, so you always have that in League One.
They did spend £15 million on a
exactly
in League One, which is the money. The money is getting bigger and bigger. But if you look at the likes of Gavin White at Derry's come back, Carl Winchester's come back, and you wouldn't say any of them have pissed the league. Like, if you were saying with the level they're playing was way too good, but it just shows that the League of Ireland is a very high standard. But it is a slightly different style of play at times.
Yeah, I remember actually years ago. I went to a Gillingham game. I was working at it in Gillingham in Kent, and it was a brilliant game. It was like 2-2 or 3-2. It was brilliant. It was end to end, kick and rush. Brilliant. It was so exciting. It was none of this trying to play it out from the back. If you could play it out from the back, great. It's a beautiful thing to watch. But if you can't play it out from the back, you're trying to play it out from the back. It's awful to watch. And I just think some of these teams would just be better doing Jack Charlton. Long ball into the corner, played around the opposition's box. You are. Oisin Fitzgerald, Bill waffling as usual, is he? Yeah, unfortunately, Oisin. Celtic, Connor, is that a new hoodie? Celtic wants to know.
I think he's happy don't have the green one on tonight. I think he's
go on.
No, as I said, it was just the Celtics probably delighted. I've changed hoodie first night.
Yeah, I could smell it through it. No, just joking. I do have several of these Lansdowne Road shorts, by the way.
He didn't ask about your hoodie.
I don't have a hoodie, a t-shirt.
Yeah, but he didn't ask you. Like, you're just randomly bringing up something that has nothing to do
I
with the
know.
question. Celtic asked.
I feel a bit left out. Ryan McDonald, well biased. At least McCabe got to wear a pair of shorts instead of them horrible skirts. Haha, Jesus, fair play. Yeah, a bit of a stupid row with the GAA. I mean, just let them wear what they want. Shorts. What does it matter? Like, unbelievable. Lansdowne ROAR, like and subscribe.
Yeah, there's 1,500 people on here. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, get your arse to YouTube and like the video and subscribe, please.
Have we had a little bop? Have we had a little? I'm just checking here on the phone. Have we had a little? No, we haven't. Come on, get subscribing.
Yeah, get us to 1,040. Go on, just click the button.
Yeah, we're up 2131 at the moment, right? That's got on my phone there. Come on, get us to 2140. Just trying to edge closer. If you wouldn't mind, please. IFB Media. Oh, Bill. Oh, Ushi. Maybe someday you'd be relevant like me. Wouldn't count on it though. Bill is gracious as always.
It is. Good man,
yeah. Kevin Higgins. Hope you're watching. Kevin Higgins. Yeah, it's that new hoodie there. Gaelic Edits. Great to see Justin Devaney in the Ireland under-21 squad. I have watched him a lot this season. Won't say how I know this, but he's rated highly at United. Comment
Jacob Devaney. Quite a player that I've spoken to quite a bit. Very nice lad and excellent footballer. He has only really come into the Ireland scene over the last year or so. Came into the 19s last campaign. Still only 17. Probably won't be with the 21s in the long term in terms of this camp yet, anyway, because it is a camp that it's a squad that really need to be playing first team football regularly to have any chance of playing in. And because he's only 17, United are quite slow, I think, at letting lads go out and playing first team football. But no, he's an excellent player and he's a very nice lad and he loves playing for Ireland. So he will be a huge asset to Ireland in the future, and hopefully he can keep developing at United at that.
Absolutely. Danny Nagel, Fessy started first game for Istanbul today, but despite losing, he was great. 4 key passes and given an 8 on SofaScore. We did touch on that earlier on. Ryan McDonald, who's this IBF Media? Haha, 0 subscribers. Bye. Good luck to you thinking you're a celebrity.
Well said, Rory. Well said, Rory.
IFB Media. Rory, can you count, mate? He's put like crying emojis on it. Nick says Fessy created a bunch of chances in that game. Could be a game changer for us. Yeah. Ryan McDonald. Oh my God. IFB Media responded to me. First time I've ever had a celebrity interaction, and then Bill's gone. You're welcome.
The thing is, Nick saying Fessy could be a game changer. He is a game changer. He's shown it, hasn't he? When we played Finland, came on at the changed the game, and even when you look at that England game in the first half, he was the best player on the pitch. I must say though, Irish Football Blog has 100 subscribers, so he's famous.
Oh, on YouTube?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Nice one. I mean, I can't. Yeah, fair play. Adam Curtis, could Festy be a long-term solution for right back in the Ireland squad? Could he nail down that position before the World Cup that we go to? And Donny, quote, quips on that, not right back, but yes to right wing back. Yeah, I mean, we said it earlier. He could play right back, right mid, or, he's down as a forward. Well, I suppose a right winger is a forward now, isn't he? So, yeah, he's a bit of a utility player down at right side for us. Adam Curtis, well, in games we play a back four, could we not also use Festy as a counter-attacking outlet? Well, what do you say in that, Connor?
Yeah, that's true. He's not wrong. You could use Festy in so many different roles. If we're playing 3 at the back, 4 at the back, playing a 4-3-3, playing a 4-4-2, you can fit in so many different roles. That's the beauty of having Festy in your team. Probably could even fill in at left back. I've seen him play a left wing back a few times for Watford this season.
Yeah. Okay. Jack O'Connor, just finished watching the full 90 minutes of Festy episode of today. Where did you watch that, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
He's talking out of his arse. He's talking out of his arse.
First episode today, I have analysed every action, and blimey, we should be excited. Romer, PNP, what's that mean? Electricity, drive, gazelle. He has all the qualities.
He's talking out of his arse. He played 78 minutes. He didn't play 90 minutes. Jack is just winding you up, Dave. Don't be falling for that.
I'm just going with it. I mean, he paid me a compliment, Connor. Come on, for fuck's sakes, I don't get those many. Greg O'Loughlin, lads, let Robbie come home. No. IFB Media, hope you're keeping well, Jack, says Bill. Donny Nagel, the under-17's got a great draw. Rory Finnan and Jaden Uma masterclass incoming. Oshie Fitzgerald, how you know it's a good draw, Connie? Connie. Oh, Connie. Connie. You know all about these 16-year-olds, yeah? Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Oisin, Connor is 15, so, you know.
Yeah.
John Morris, will Melia go?
He's too old.
Yeah, how old's Melia now? He's
18 in September. But yeah, he's 2007 born, and this is 2008 and younger age group.
Fair. Harrison Dalglish, Ireland World Cup is music to my ears. Count me in. Good man, Harrison.
Go on, Harrison. Loving the positivity, Harrison.
Loving it, yeah. Greg O'Loughlin, 17s World Cup will most likely be on FIFA Plus. Good shout. Jack O'Connor, I am worried about the draw. I have solid knowledge of every country and the current youth system, and it's a horror draw. Hold on. That's 1 out of 2. I'll get to you in a second, Donny. Jack O'Connor, we have neglected our youth setup, and people are saying it's a good draw because the countries are not from Europe. Uzbekistan 17s beat England 17s at the last World Cup. That true?
Yeah, they did. I don't know, last 17s World Cup. Uzbekistan are one of the growing football nations, but you never know what they're going. You just don't know what they're going to be like because we've no current analysis on what their current under 17 team is going to be like, or you don't have it's like a Spain or an Italy or Germany or France where you just know they're going to have top players every single age. But it'll be an interesting one anyway.
Yeah, and he may be beaten England, Jack, but you'll never beat the Irish. Wow. Donny Nagel, he won't be playing under 17s. Will stay with the 21s for now. I think that's Mason.
Media, yeah.
Jack O'Connor responds to Bill. Hi, IFB Media. I am well. How are you? I'm loving the cordial nature of the conversations. And then IFB Media goes, always great to see your comments, Jack, unlike some of the other miserable sods. Says the fella. I mean, that is rich coming from you, Bill, you miserable bastard. But anyway. Aaron Gubbins. Well, lads, great show. No Prendy. What are both of your dream moves for Irish players over the summer? Well, Queeving Keller to Man United. No, I'm just joking. Do you know what? I was thinking Kelleher to Newcastle, but I'd take him to Leverkusen, guaranteed to be playing top league and guaranteed to be playing in the Champions League pretty much. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's the big one. I think Ferguson, obviously want him to do better, but I'll go with you, Connor. Pre-season, show what he's about, and he'll stay at Brighton. I think, you know.
Joy Pedro's on his way out, by the way. He's leaving. He had a fight with John Paul Van Hecke in training. I think they're signing some 17-year-old Greek striker, but like he won't come in and instantly start playing for them, or maybe he'll be on the bench. No, I think Evan's going to go in and tear it up in pre-season, to be honest. I think we'll see the real Evan Ferguson pre-season. But no, if he goes anywhere, Bayern Leverkusen, him and Kelleher both go to Leverkusen, that would be the dream, wouldn't it? 2 Irish players going there at once. But the only issue is Eric Ten Hag to be their new manager. But in fairness, Ten Hag is a good manager. He just wasn't a Man United manager. But yeah. And then if you see Collins go to Newcastle, I think that'd be a great move. And in terms of other players, it'd be Jason Knight to Everton stuff. But myself, I don't know if Dave will be on the show. I don't know if Martin will be on the show. But there will be a video on Irish players getting moves this summer over there, probably next week at some stage.
No, there will be. But yes, sorry. Jason Knight to Everton. Good shout. We did do a show on that actually a while ago. I'd love to see that. He'd be perfect for Everton.
Yeah.
Perfect for him. Moyes be the perfect manager for him.
Actually, we'll put it here right now. We'll be short next week on players we want to get a transfer next week.
There we go.
Just to keep Dave on his toes.
Just let me sleep. No. There will be loads of content coming over. Coming out. We're gonna actually nice opportunity to take a little break from the comments for a second. We will loads more to go. Sorry if you thought it was going to be a quick one. It never is. Well, you know, Connor and I like to take our time. Just under 1,700 of you watching us here actually live on a Sunday. That is amazing and brilliant stuff. Don't forget, we'll have content coming at you next week, mostly recorded, and then what?
I just seen the most recent comments.
God, what is Prendy healthy?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it? I haven't heard from him.
I don't know. He's probably fucking in a ditch somewhere. No, he's away with the fam. He's away with the fam. But I tell you, did you see when when he saw I was in Wembley? He's like, you know, how'd you get that? What's going on? Prendy go mental. Hold on, Prendy, are you watching? Martin, look at that Players Lounge. Players Lounge. I had a free saucy roll, freedom, 2 cups of coffee, class all the way, and even used to posh Lou's. I even said Lou. That's how posh it was. But yes, next week we'll have the League of Ireland. We will have stuff about players and shit. Connor's going to tell me what that's about. He's just thrown a curveball at me there. And of course, we will be in Luxembourg, I hope. And we will be in Dublin as well. So there's only one place to go with the upcoming
There's a press conference next week as well, actually.
29th.
So, yeah.
There's a squad updates. So we'll have something for you on the 29th. But also, don't forget this international one, though. We will be live from both grounds. Where else are you going to go, Connor? Hey? Where else?
Probably somewhere else. Luxembourg Fan TV.
A little bit closer to bone there, Connor. But,
I don't know. Is there any? This is the generic.
You have TV Luxembourg? Luxembourg's the richest country in the world, by the way. But we will be over there, so do join us on that. We're going to have loads of content coming your way for that. We're going to have the squad update on the 29th. If there's a big update on that, we'll have a program for you. We're going to have loads of videos about players we want to see get moves, that kind of thing. And yeah, we will be live from both.
I do think so. If Sinclair Armstrong gets added to the squad, we have to do a special live tribute show just for Celtic and for Oisin.
Yeah, dedicated to you, lads. Right, let's keep going. Baylor, will John Patrick still get called up if he gets relegated to League 2? League 2, is it? League 1, League 2, 1, 2, 3. I don't fucking know French. And as a starter, would prefer him over some championship players. I don't know. I don't think he would, Baylor. I don't know about you, Connor, but I'm not saying that that's because League 2, I'd imagine that's what it's called, is because it's that bad. But it's just Irish player, like, they don't really look at the second tier in foreign countries, do they? Or countries that are not England. They don't seem to look at that, do they? They always, if you know, some of the lads playing in the top tier in foreign countries don't even get a look in sometimes. Yeah. Garcia McNulty for a start. So I don't know, Connor. I don't think he would he?
Probably not. If he was doing really well and they were like top of the league and run away with it, maybe I think he might get a chance then. But there is still quite a few Premier League players in that position for Ireland, especially. I know we're losing a couple this summer, but then Cullen will come back up in the Premier League, and then you'll have probably Knight playing there in the Premier League. So no, it depends probably how well he's doing. Yeah, I know I've seen like countries like Georgia do quite well with players playing in the second tier, but probably just depends how good the team they're at is and how well they're doing every week. But I'm confident that they'll get the job done on Thursday against Mets and seal whatever is safety for the club, because that club shouldn't be playing in the second tier France anyway. Stade Reims are out quite well with known clubs like.
Yeah, just terrible from watching them in League On, like really bad. Harrison Dalglish. Hi, Jack. Thanks for that. Whatever that is. Aaron Gubbins. Are Wolves interested in Troy? Connor, that's one for you.
I've seen a link there, but I don't know how. I seen a link up like last week or something, but I don't know how valid that is or not. But I'm sure they're probably one of the clubs that are monitoring Troy part.
Yeah. Oisin Fitzgerald. Ha. Cheerio, IFB. That's a response to Bill saying that some people are miserable. Adam Curtis, any chance of doing a transfer show or transfer prediction show of some players who could be on the move over the summer? Well, funny you mention that, Adam. Yes. Something along those lines. We will have that.
I have a question actually for the fans. Do people want like a weekly transfer show? Like a transfer show, summary show, talking about all the transfers in Irish football and all the links and moves we think could happen? Is that something people want to see? Because obviously it's not long until the transfer window. And then obviously once we get past the international break, there won't be as much to talk about in Irish football, so it could be something good to keep people informed with. But yeah, we will be doing that transfer prediction, Irish prediction, or who you want to see go where and why this week.
Absolutely. Donny Nagel, O'Shea, Smollett, and McAteer. How many, if any, will play in the Prem next season? I think Smollett will go down. I think Darrell O'Shea will go up, and I think McAteer and Smollett will go back down to the Championship. I think they'd probably be happier playing in the Championship, to be honest with you. What you reckon, Connor?
Yeah, well, Smodic seems the type he wants to. He would have probably done quite well this season. Maybe he would have got himself a move if he didn't get injured really at the time to stay in the Premier League, like one of the promoted teams. But I don't know. It's just tough that he is not. He hasn't really got a chance to flourish as much as what he wanted him with just injuries and stuff this season. But yeah, McAteer definitely he's better off being in the Championship just for the fact that he'll play every week. Yeah, and Smodics is probably at the age now that he kind of would probably need to come straight back up after, or he probably won't play in the Premier League again.
Yeah. Nick, Eric Ten Hag is going to Leverkusen, though. Yeah, you did mention that. Aaron Gubbins, could Sunderland take any Irish players? And yeah. Hopefully. I mean, they got Alan Brown.
No, but I think Alan Brown will probably. I think he's going to stay there next year. I have a feeling he'll just stay there because he's versatile and stuff. Like, and he's an older head in the dressing room because quite a young squad they have. But I think I don't know. He's not good enough to be playing regularly in the Premier League. But maybe they might want to go for Jason Knight or something and take him up with them.
Poor Alan Brown. He wanted McAteer and Jan, but Leicester said no. Says Donny.
They did offer like 8 million or something. So maybe you never know.
You never know. Nick will still might like Bazunu. Will Still has been announced as I said, half the manager today. So yeah, he might like Bazunu. He might do, or he might not. I think might just be good for Bazunu just to get out of there and just get a fresh start somewhere else. I think it's gone a bit stale.
Just bad memories there in terms of that first that first season in the Premier League didn't go to plan, and then the memories of tearing his Achilles. So it's probably all quite negative around Southampton for him.
Yeah,
but you never know. He could go back there and he could tear it up, like because he has the talent. Like it's just probably getting a fresh start somewhere else would probably be the best thing for Bazunu.
Absolutely, Freddie Simpson. You just got ratioed, Dave. What?
You just got ratioed.
What does that mean?
You just got ratioed.
Explain.
Usually something happens in like Twitter comments. Remember I said about you getting ratioed the time about Coleman playing minutes, and then my comment got way more likes than yours did because then he saw you got ratioed. But
I love that. My comment get more likes than your comment. Yeah, my comment was factual.
Oh, shut
factual.
Up,
it was factual, and I was right, and I fucking told all you children that. Anyway, Josh Keeley is ranked 15 in League One for accurate passes completion, says Jack O'Connor. He isn't a ball-playing keeper. It isn't the league he is playing in. Yeah, but he's in a league where you can't play it out from the back, Jack, to be fair. Now, I don't want to go too heavy, because you did pay me a nice compliment, so I don't want to go too heavy on you. But no, it's not one where you can just play it out to the back. Like, it doesn't matter if he could be messy on the ball, but if you got four lads who,
they've done. It's just 15 in League One for passing. What does that even mean? Like, because the tactics are to hit it long, so it just ends up relying on probably someone having to take it down, plucking out of the sky or something for it to be an accurate pass. So no,
come on.
He's just trying to wind us up.
Yeah, not working. Gaelic edits. Jack Morehouse is in my nice preseason tour there, lads. Nice. I mean, I don't think that's
a surprise, is it? That's not a surprise how much he's been involved with the first team.
They are in serious trouble, United, aren't they? Like genuinely serious trouble.
15th in the league, get up. Didn't finish 17th. Wow. Finished above Wolves and Spurs, get up.
Wow. No money. PSR.
What do you mean no money?
No money. They don't have money. They don't have money to spend.
Well, I think he's been laying people off. So why do you think Cunha's done 60 million? They want to sign that bum deal up. But thing is, United's going to sell a lot of players this summer, which will help in terms of recruiting. Sancho, Rashford, Anthony, all gone. Garnacho will be gone. Caspi Bro might go.
You have a manager apologising week in and week out. He is doing my head in, Amarin. Oh, maybe I should go. Maybe we're not good enough. Mate, do me a favour.
He's trying to get rid of the bad eggs. So leave him alone and let him do his job. And we'll see how the summer goes for United, because I think it'll be more because of all the lads going. I think they'll be forced to spend in some capacity.
All right. Harrison Dalglish, I didn't see the League One playoff final as I was out buying some extra fire extinguishers. Okay. Although I did see the highlights on Sky Sports News. Poor mistake. Yeah, I mean, he's a young lad. It was a bad area. He had an okay game. Pulled off one other. He didn't have a lot to do.
No.
He didn't have a lot to do other than literally pick the ball up out of the net. I'm not saying that to be derisory towards him. He just didn't have anything to do. Wasn't a great game, to be fair. Although I thought Leighton Orient were going to do it in the second half, hit the crossbar and everything. Oshie Fitzgerald, if I'd have made a big mistake that big, Connie boy, here would want him to never play for Ireland again. Do you reckon he's like a Bond baddie or like a villain? You know, when
Is he trying to say if Alameda made that mistake that Josh Keeley did?
What like if he? So you mean to say that if Alameda was in goal and pushed it in to the back of the net, I don't know. You know what? Are you,
I don't know.
What's he trying to say there? But his big evil laugh, like. As it's like me when I type stuff to you.
Oh, he got Connie out. He makes me sound like a woman.
Connie boy, I like that actually. It's I like it, Connie. There's a podcast I listen to, Conrad Thompson. If you know, you know, and one of his guests calls him Connie. So there you go, Connie. Ryan McDonald, Johnny Kenny slotted his penalty away nice in the shootout. No surprise to see Celtic Symphony not mention him. Slap him on the eye big there.
Johnny Kenny will be on the eye big for next season, though. He will be on the eye big for next season.
He will,
because he's on the radar for the Ireland team, and he's done. Maybe he might. If someone pulls out through injury, Dave, I wouldn't be surprised if he's brought into the Ireland squad.
Yeah. Baylor, Connor, I thought you told us that Jack Morehouse will definitely get first team minutes in the last few games. Oh, someone's been ratioed there, Connor.
That's not ratioed. And Dave, if you listen to me, you'd realise that he's out injured.
Yeah, but I don't listen to you, Connor. That's the problem.
He's out injured. He's injured. I don't know if he'll be coming into the 21s or not, because he's in the 21 squad, but he might be out injured for it. He might be. But yeah, he's currently injured at the moment, unfortunately.
Ratioed. Oshie Fitzgerald, we don't need a striker. We have Ida. Evan is not better than Ida. Come on, Oshie. Now, like I think we're getting a.
Well, in fairness, at the moment, Ida is doing better than Evan. But
did I see a stat there about Ida? Is there one there about Ida? I've come up with this stat, Connor, myself.
Yeah.
Where is it about? If you take all of Adamida's 15 goals away, Celtic's results, win, lose, or draw in all competitions stay the exact same. He's some after scoring the third or fourth goal in a rout. That's a stat that I've come up with, Connor. Connie, all by myself. So there you go. Have some of that. That's a comment for you there.
But I see all the Celtic fans want Giacomakis back and Ida thrown in the bin again, but the Celtic fans, once Celtic they all know Celtic probably need to sign another striker in the summer, and then
that was back in. By the way, that was back in April. I came up with that stat.
All right, so that's what things could change. He has scored since. He's got up to 20 since, so maybe it's changed.
But when he had 15 goals, they made no. Yeah, that's the thing with Ida. Though to be fair, that is a fair stat. He did score. When he scores, very rarely he'll score the winner. He scored a couple, but like 15 of those goals. It's always the third.
Last season he did. He scored a fair few winners in fairness, or key goals at least. But no, he has had a good season. You don't want to mess it up too much. He's a very good player and he's had a good season. It's just about him consistency at this stage.
Ryan McDonald, are we seriously analysing Ebicella's game in the Kebab League? Go away, jeez.
The Turkish league's 90% better than the Championship. 75% better. The top teams in the Turkish league are way better than the top teams in the Championship. Look at Fenerbahce's squad and compare that to the Championship.
Fair. West Ham's other lone player, Solar, wasn't in the squad either. They were probably given the day off. Yeah, I think
Solar.
That's
Solar system.
Solar. I don't know. Kieran Kelly. Seamus Coleman only played 4 times for Everton this season. Now, I want you to listen to this, Connor, right? I want you to listen and pay attention to this. You're going to school, pal, Connie. Seamus Coleman only played 4 times for Everton this season, which in terms of minutes equates to less than 2 full 90-minute games. Because you're only allowed to pick a certain amount of players for squads, it might be hard to justify including Seamus in September if things don't improve, as it would be just a sentimental call-up and not a call-up on merit. Like I said, you can only pick a certain amount of players for these squads. And Connor, you may not want to listen to it, but it's the truth. And I called it out, and I said it, that lad can't stay fit. And I hate seeing it because I love Seamus Coleman. But there you go, Kieran Kelly. You, sir, win the show for the day. Shut up. Cash facts. Can someone tell me how Nathan Collins made history? I don't have time to watch the full 4-hour stream. He played every minute, every game.
We've already responded to that comment.
Yes. Baylor, realistically, what Prem team is going to take a punt on Evan unless he is seen as a second or third striker?
Probably a lot of teams. Probably decent amount of teams. Like
Oisin says Shamrock Rovers. Now, Oisin, are we being a tad facetious there, pal? Nick responds, the Kebab League is still higher standard than the Scottish League. Celtic 70. Cash facts, first Irish player to not get relegated since Keane.
Shut up, Celtic. What are you on about? He's referring to this Collins.
Celtic Symphony. Why would we want Ferguson a Celtic when we already have Adam, who's the better player, Connor?
Why is he saying Connor? Why does he have to? He always bring me into it. He never says Dave. Like he just wants to have a go at me, but no, he's not going to Celtic, and I'm not letting him go to Celtic. I would get.
Evan's the better player. I'll answer it because Connor's. Sorry, Connor. You want to watch yourself sitting on that fence? Jesus, Baylor. If we qualify for the World Cup, surely we're guaranteed some second generation or third generation players to switch allegiance to Ireland. To be fair, yeah, if we become more, and it's happened in the past with Jack Charlton, if we become a little bit more attractive to those players on the fringe, we need them. That's all I'm going to say. Winston Morrison. Good man, Winston. In fact, did know Ogbenny is with a snow bunny. Elaborate, please.
You're all right. It's not probably not something we should answer on the show. No, it's I can tell you after. I'll tell you after.
Tell me after, okay. T-Bow Valentine, sup,
lad.
What's up? And then Ryan McDonald goes, sup a tea. Cup of tea. Oisin Fitzgerald, Rory, you never make sense, bud. Old dude 420. I saw this interesting try from Spain, Villarreal in particular. Any word on that, Connor? I haven't heard of that.
Don't know, but that wouldn't be a bad move.
Fair. Oisin Fitzgerald, Jesus, our third choice keeper's writing books now. What?
He's on about David Ford.
Oh, it wasn't a third choice. He was a first choice for a couple of years, and now he's had a good game for Ireland.
He was always good for Ireland, and then he got injured.
Yeah, very good. John Muckian, 11 days until Ireland plays Senegal. Unlikely McAteer plays a part. It really depends. We don't know the extent of his injury. If you guys know something that we don't, please tell us here. Nick, random one, but why isn't Owen Elding playing for the Ireland youth teams? Surely he's eligible since he's lived over here since he was 6.
Yeah, he is. He just hasn't got his citizenship yet. He's been waiting for his citizenship. Hopefully that will be done in time September, but he is some player. He's unbelievable. It's like we're always going to make some money off him.
Nice. Downtown 123. The Irish women's team seem to be able to get plenty good dual players to play for Ireland. How come the men's team aren't able to get many good players to pick Ireland? We just haven't really like. You have to remember when Jack was picking, when he was the manager in the 80s, and he went and he got players like John Aldridge and Ray Houghton, who were kind of on the precipice of they hadn't gone to Liverpool yet until the following year, 87. Like Ireland had a superb side, like world-class players, but we always seemed to be quite an attractive proposition because we always had top players. And Mark Lawrence, and I think he was at Brighton when he Preston, I think, yes. Alan Kelly Senior used to get a lot of Irish players to play for to play for Ireland. And we just always had good players, and we always seemed to be an attractive prospect because we were always 1 or 2 players short of qualifying for competitions, or like for the 1982 World Cup. Actually, the book's just behind me here. There's a great book about that campaign, which we're going to be doing an interview about in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I just think we've always had top players over the years, and we used to attract top second, third generation players. And at the moment,
the reality is there isn't that many, Dave. In all honesty, there isn't that many top second, third generation players at the moment.
no.
Because
The biggest one was Rice.
The top, but like he was, and then Martin O'Neill is bum. But other than that, like if you think of in general, like when you think of names like at the moment, like Bellingham, Harry Keane, like they're England internationals, like, and they've been in the England system. England do a lot better job in the modern time of embedding people with, and they do it. In reality, is England have a full on department in their association to find out everyone's background, and especially when they're Irish and stuff, to try and get them capped so they're embedded in the English system, and gives them, in reality, gives a lot of lads false hope that they're going to end up playing for England one day, and then it kind of rules out the Ireland thing. They don't even consider Ireland, but
to be fair, you've answered that a lot better than I could, but it's the same point. But also as well, I think as well, kind of like we've relied on Alan Kelly Senior at Preston. We've also relied on. Well, remember we got Kieran Clark.
Yeah, but he was. You've ever heard? Yeah, but Kieran Clark, if you ever heard him speak, he was very. He comes from a very proud Irish family. Like, it does depend on the family a lot. Like,
so does Declan Rice.
Right, but he's
no. But you know how Kieran Clark got, how he got picked for Ireland. Basically, Richard Dunn showed up. He was at Aston Villa, and he was introduced to Kieran Clark's mum. You're from Ireland? Yeah, I am. I'm from Dublin. Oh, would he like to play for Ireland? Oh, yeah, I think he'd love to. And then that was he got the FAI. But you're saying like the FA for years have had these guys identifying these lads, keeping tabs on them. Well, the FAI now have this, but they lost out on a fair chunk of. I think that's fair. They lost out for a number of years, a fair chunk of players. And also, you got managers as well. Like Martin O'Neill wasn't really great, was he, for going after for as we saw, for chasing second or third generation Irish players as well. Where Jack back in the day went up and down every club in England trying to get players to play for Ireland. So I think it's
we don't want to hand out call ups to people who don't feel Irish. They don't feel Irish. We want them to feel Irish at the end of the day. But it's these second, third generation players. There's a lot of them that are very good, that are already embedded in the Irish system, which must be said. But it's just about hoping that they do kick on, because there's a lot of them, Dave, that have been involved at underage level and they just haven't kicked on.
We'll move on anyway. Usher Fitzgerald, give it over, Connor. But not everyone has tabs of 60-year-olds. Jesus Christ. Oisín, behave. Nick Can knocked out in the group stages at the Under-17 World Cup. Fair. Dude, 420. There's also rumour that Betis are going to re-sign Garcia McNulty, and also that Spain want him as their defensively light. We should cap him now. Have you heard that coming?
They're not going to. He can't switch yet, and he definitely can't switch at the moment because that rule still hasn't been passed, because he's been capped to 21s a couple of times after turning 21. So he can't switch anyway as of yet. But he's not going to switch. He's very embedded, and as he said, he wants his dreams to get called up for Ireland and stuff, which it will happen in the near future. It's just the fact is he's not like it's a top European league, and he's on the cusp of getting a move. I think we'll see him go to the Liga this summer, to be honest. And if he starts playing regularly in La Liga, I think that's when he'll get his chance with Ireland.
I think if Coleman can't go, we haven't had an update. We'll get an update next week on the 29th. If Coleman can't make it, he wasn't involved today, then I think McNulty has to come in. Just get him involved.
Yeah.
I know he's not a right back, but just get him in the camp. Get him used to the senior players. Rolling Stone. Hey, Rolling Stone. Where was Evan Ferguson today?
He was getting surgery on his patella injury. No, he's just not involved.
He also heard that Joe Patrick Finn is too raw for international level. But I mean, we need to give him a little, get him involved. That's how you become unraw. That's how you become cooked. Rolling Stone, we get him involved. Jack O'Connor, you heard wrong, Rolling. He has all the qualities to excel at international level. He is a unicorn. Rolling Stone, Collins has yet to transform his club form into international forum. And he says, just what we need, a mythical creature that doesn't exist playing for us. Things are going from bad to worse. Anna Curtis says, Stone never fails to entertain. And Gregor Lucky having a bit of an L laugh there as well. Old Dude 420, Heimer seems to like Killian Phillips a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
Foley 5, up the lads. Good man, Foley. David Rowan, well, Connor, are we all set for Luxembourg?
Oh, we are, David. Are you
Right.
set, David?
I am set.
No, not you. It's the other David.
Oh. Well, we're going to be traveling together to Luxembourg, Connor, you and I, on a Ryanair airplane.
Oh, well, I won't be beside you anyway.
No, I'm in first class in Ryanair. Leg wrap seats. Now we are all set, David. Even though you didn't ask me, David, you just asked Connor. I feel a bit hurt, but it's okay. I'll forgive you. Ocean Fitzgerald, it is still way better than the championship, though, and you parade all the players there. That's about the SPL. It's not.
Is it? Stop it.
It's not better.
And Oisin said last week or the week before he only watches the Scottish League when Celtic play Rangers or something like that, or when they're playing in the big match. So
exactly. Celtic 70, David, why not wear a coloured T-shirt? You look like your head's floating. Because I like all black. I have a bit of the old Roy Orbison and a bit of the old Bono about me. I look good in black. Makes me look svelte. Drizzle 3. Joey Anang. Oh. Who's Joey Anang?
Oh my God. You're meant to be a St. Pat's fan.
Old Dude 420.
You're meant to be a St. Pat's fan.
Old Dude 420. Not sure if it's way better than the championship. That's a stretch.
I'd say it's way worse. That's my reckoning on it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Gregor Lockie, on Luxembourg away game, did anyone else notice you could buy as many tickets as you wanted when in the Luxembourg FA site? David Rowan says, yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, I mean, the FAI have come out and said, haven't they? The Gary Spain, the fan liaison officer, he did turn around and say that basically anyone who applied, I don't think it's well sold, is it? Anyone who applied will get their tickets.
Like 400 tickets or something.
Yeah. Rolling Stone, off topic. Does anyone here find Roy Keane funny as a pundit?
No.
I think he's very funny. Maybe not, but I like him on Stick to Friends podcast. When I do watch that, I think he's a very funny man. But yeah. Jack O'Connor, no, Ronnie. He provides zero analytical analysis. Rolling Stone says, unfortunately, a lot of people are really entertained by him. He's better than Scholes. I mean, Scholes is miserable, to be fair. Darren Lopez Productions. When I hear someone say he loves playing for Ireland, the alarm bells go off.
Sorry.
Especially when,
as long as he doesn't kiss the badge.
I was going to say that. That's what I was grabbing at. Kiss the badge. Andrew Moore is hardly going on another loan next season, says Rolling Stone.
He will be.
Very
likely will be, yeah.
Okay. Dermot Lopez Productions. Fessy does have that key defensive instinct to play in a back 4 or 3. Rolling Stone. This Fatina lad, I feel.
Fatina
lad, I fail to see the hype about him. Who's he?
The PSG Sarmid, he's unbelievable.
Fair. Jack O'Connor. It is available on my Scout. Rolling Stone. Dave, what you said it before about Pogba being a bum. The dude was one of the most technically gifted players to ever play in the Premier League. He was dreadful and couldn't play in the Premier League.
Oh, stop. He
couldn't play. He couldn't
ever play in the Premier League.
He couldn't play in the and that's why he was such a fabulous player. He won all those trophies in the Premier League, won all those league titles. He was rubbish.
Oh,
and
you'd be going on about all these players back in your day that played for all these teams and never won. Oh, you'd be like Matt Letizia, oh, what a player, never won a Premier League.
Yeah, Matt Letizia played at Southampton.
Yep, still.
That was always in a relegation battle because he didn't want to go anywhere else.
Pogba won Carabao Cup. He won FA Cup. He won Europa League. He won the World Cup whilst he was at United. So you can stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Okay. As I said about Pogba, couldn't cut it in the Premier League, and he couldn't and we're not going to get too bogged down in this. If Pogba had all the space which you get in international football because it's international football, or when he plays on the continent, oh yeah, he's fantastic. When he's in the Premier League and he has players closing him down, he does fuck all.
He's playing on a crap team.
I don't care. He's supposed to be this technically wonderful player. Doesn't matter. Couldn't do it. You put him in a class team. Oh yeah, he's class. Okay, fair enough. You put me in a class team, I'll probably look half decent. No, not good enough. Shite in the Premier League. I fucking challenge anyone on that one. And you can give me all the nonsense you want. He was terrible in the Premier League. Only good when he had loads of space. Like in Italian league. No pace in that league whatsoever.
Shocking.
I know, it is shocking how bad he was. Yeah, you're right. Rolling Stone, I look forward to seeing it not coming home next year. Tuchel is clueless. So Simney is pretty healthy. Yeah.
So
Jason Knight would get Everton relegated. Let's be serious here. How would he get them relegated? Fuck's sakes. Someone should stick up for Prendy, not me though. Says 420. Aaron Gubbins, how did the three amigos meet? I'm talking about ye. I suppose I was doing Lansdowne ROAR back in 2019.
Yeah, you're Lansdowne Road.
No, I was doing Lansdowne ROAR back in 2019.
Oh. Were you?
Yes.
Oh, right.
In fact, there is an interview out there with Noel Mooney for 2019. Lansdowne ROAR was the first episode of Lansdowne ROAR, and he's to do with a lad called Kenny McCoy. And Kenny, if you're watching, top lad. Basically, I was doing that. Nick approached me to do Green Machine, and then basically I said to Nick, "Let's get Martin involved," and then Martin got on board, and then basically Nick left the Green Machine. Or sorry, we went Lansdowne ROAR, and then we went our separate ways with Nick. And then we got Connor involved. It's that simple, really. And you were on a writing team, weren't you?
Yeah, I was already writing before that.
Yeah. And then funny story. Well, tell the story about how you came on. Can we tell that one on there? How you came on the...
Yeah, I don't mind, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. And to be fair, Connor became part of the team when we were at... What game was it we were at? I was doing the pre-match.
It was one of the March games, wasn't it?
March last year, wasn't it?
It was Belgium or Switzerland. It was one of the two.
Yeah. And then basically, I won't mention his name, but somebody from the FAI, I won't mention the name. Someone from the FAI turned around and said, "You know what? I like the show. I think it's a great idea, but you need a host."
No, you need a second, but not a host. You need a co-host.
Sorry, you need a co-host. You need a co-host. And pointed to Connor. And I turned around and literally went, "Connor, do you want to come on?" "Yes, I do." He couldn't wait to come on. His little face. That was a little face he had there. And then basically, yeah, he came on. And that was it. And then he was on. We were sharing the microphones. You remember? I think no. We had because we had the Rode mics, not these things that we bring to the games now because there's a better quality. The Focusrite mics, and that was it. We just haven't looked back since. Mad how it happens. So there you go. That's the untold story of how we all got on board. Celtic Symphony. I heard coronavirus is still floating about. I still wear my mask in the car because of the fumes and such. Hope Prendergast.
Poor Prendy.
He will be back. Scuzzy at Rolling Stone. That is absolute bollocks. I'm sure about the Jason Knight comment there. Ryan McDonald, we'll see. Will you still be live every weekend now that the season is over? That's an excellent question. Probably not every weekend. We will have live.
We will be. I guarantee you we will be. Dave's talking about his art because the off season basically is only about 2 weeks because then pre-season kicks in and there'll be big transfer news or something that we'll have to go live about. And Dave will say we want a break anyway. And yeah, so Dave will probably I'd say at most take a week off or 2 weeks off. That'll be it.
If we do go, we're not going to be away for long, but we're going to be back next week. We've actually managed to do a full season live for the first time ever. We've actually completed the season. So yeah, no, it's been fantastic, and we have really enjoyed it, Rory, as well. But no, we'll probably take maybe a week or two off, and then we'll be back. I will obviously be back with we're going to refresh things, graphics, a couple of other. Any suggestions, guys? By the way, send us a private message or a direct message. Any suggestions? Anything you want to see out there, the Roar faithful, on what we do? Anything you want us to add? It's your podcast as well as it's ours. It's actually my podcast, but I'll let you borrow from time to time, Connor. Right, let's get through the last of these and let's get out of here. God, we've gone over 2 hours. Rolling Stone. He isn't good enough for the Premier League. This is on Jason Knight. The Championship is light years behind. Adam Curtis. Yes, a weekly transfer show would be good to keep up to date with all the Irish players' moves. Come on, you boys agree? There you go, Connor. Abs. I'm authentic. I'll keep it that way. Talk about your inverted fullbacks when it comes to it, but authenticity is where I lay. UTFR. What's UTFR? Up the fucking Reds, is it?
Yeah.
Moran is our only help in midfield, says Ronnie Stone. Greg Lockie. Darrell O'Shea could be shout for Sunderland, although 3 relegations in a row could mentally break them. That's true, Jesus. Rolling Stone. How's this Moran? I'm going to say Moran because I can. Otherwise, I'm going to sound like moron. Lad lacking in physicality. He's about 5'10", and he isn't exactly built like a twig.
He's not 5'10". He's like 5'8", I'd say. 5'9". He's not small, but he's not tall. Like he's not an average height, and he is quite slight. So like he's not. Just let him go abroad, and let him express himself.
Let him go. Said Lepelin, Darrell O'Shea to Sunderland. I can see it happening. Rolling Stone. This O'Shea lad is meant to be lightning fast. He will need.
Why are you acting like Darrell O'Shea is some nobody that no one has ever heard of? Like this O'Shea lad, everyone knows him. But he was it last season when Ogbene was the fastest player in the Premier League? He was like second fastest or third fastest on the top speed.
Yeah, very fast lad. We always had a few fast players. And the Stevens, second fastest in the Premier League back in 2019, I remember as well. He will need to be top to keep up with Dominic as Szoboszlai at Liverpool. And Rolling Stone, is Evans' Pantella tendon flaring up again? What's a Pantella? Nick, if you take away all of Ferguson's goals this season, the results stay the same too. Oh, Nick, that's cold. That is cold, but true. Dave, how many of our midfielders on our team can play disguise passes? Finazaz, because he played one against Bulgaria.
Anyone can play one if he's playing.
Yeah. Finazaz did against Bulgaria. Remember I sent you the video there, Connor? Absolute sweet. Where he I don't know how he did it. He did it like with his right foot or something. He sliced it. It was incredible. It was back to goal and he sliced it and it switched to play. It was beautiful. So there you go, Rolling Stone. So simply, NSC's statistics. Adam Ida, 18 goals, 3 in the Champions League, 49 games. Evan Ferguson, 1 goal in 23 games. Armstrong, 3 goals in 38 games. Parrott, 47 games, 20 goals. Simple decision in September. Yeah, Evan Ferguson.
Why didn't you add Johnny Kenny into that then? You're going to be cutting by scoring goals in the Championship or in the Scottish League. Why don't we put in Johnny Kenny for his goals for Shamrock Rovers, and we start throwing in Patrick Abbon's goals for Waterford as well while we're at it, won't we, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll throw in did these goals in League 2 while we're at it if we're going to start considering Scottish League players as a high standard.
Yeah, and Harry Kane from Bayern Munich as well. He got to play for us. Celtic 70, Ida and the Parrot. I'm booking my tickets. Rolling Stone, be interested to hear people's views on the middle maestro. Venetia, is it? How do you say his name? Batina.
Top player, Rolling Stone.
Damien Allen, any players who can declare for Ireland in the three teams that got promoted? Sirkin already mentioned, but likely to go with England, and are unlikely to feature at Sunderland next season. Who got promoted? Well, Tom Cannon, obviously. Joe Bellingham. Tom Cannon obviously is an Irish international. Joe Bellingham.
He didn't get promoted though. Tom Cannon.
Yeah, he didn't, did he? Sorry, yeah.
CJ Egan Riley got promoted with Burnley. Who else got promoted? Sunderland, Leeds. No, there's no one at Leeds. And Sunderland's just Sirkin and Job. But Job should really just play for Ireland because he's not good enough to play for England. Job's not really. I don't think Job's any good, to be honest.
There you go.
Probably will be in the long term. He probably will be a good player in the future, but right now I don't think he's great.
Mike Heno, KK. Hi, guys. Great pod. And yes, I'm subscribed. Good man, Mike. Be thinking you guys are looking to grow the channel. Yes. So I'm wondering, are you guys going to be like off the ball bastards and put up a paywall? Harrison Ugly says, off the ball is well worth the money. Just to answer your question, Mike. No, we are not going to put our. We got plans to grow the channel, but no, our weekly lives, and our bread and butter stuff, the stuff that you see now, will not go behind a paywall. That's just not going to happen. Not true, Connor?
Because with the voice of the fans for the fans.
Yes. So no, we might have something where we're going to do some extra stuff. We might put that, because we do need to grow the channel, and we do need to, this is something we want to do absolutely, full time, and and just make it better and bigger and better. But no, the bread and butter stuff you have, the weekly shows, the stuff where we go to matches, Ireland games, the recorded stuff, breaking news, that kind of thing, League of Ireland, that what we do now on the channel will not go behind a paywall at all, because we are the voice of the fans, and we do love speaking to you guys. Just under 2,000 of you watching us live. I mean, come on. It's brilliant. But no, thank you for asking. It's a fair question, because everything's going behind a paywall. But no, we are not going to go behind a paywall with the current offering that we have. Extra stuff, we might do that because we do need to. We need to generate revenue. It's that simple. But anyway, hope that answered your question. Dave, do you think Bettina's ranks with Rui Costa? Don't know enough about him, to be honest. Sorry. Celtic 70 Harrison, I've had a subscription for a long time. They're great, although don't cover enough Scottish football or golf.
Celtic, in fairness, is a big golf fan.
He is. No, I fucking can't stand golf. Sorry, Celtic. I miss John's from off the ball. Apparently, he has said De Bruyne's best position is defensive midfield. Okay. Celtic 70 Rolling Stone. I do believe De Bruyne has more to offer in a deeper role in the middle, like Roy Keane for Manchester United.
How could Kevin De Bruyne's best position be a defensive midfielder when he's never played as defensive midfield? How could he be best when he's never played there?
I can understand a central midfielder playing in defence, like a centre back, as they get older and their legs go. But yeah, I don't see how it goes. Harrison Dalglish. Oh, I love the content on there, Celtic. Very insightful. Yeah, what about us? Rolling Stone. Yeah, but De Bruyne can't tackle. How are Spain light in the fence? Hudson, I'm butchering that, I'm sure, and Cabrasi have just emerged. They're set for the next decade, says Nick. To be honest, they're less second generation players and mostly third generation nowadays, and don't really have a connection to Ireland. That's true, says Baylor. Celtic 70, neither could Pirlo of Italy, says Celtic 70. We're getting a bit muddled here. Scuzzy, get Gary Spain on the pod. He's a good lad. He is a good lad. I do like Gary. He's a lovely fella. He's got his own podcast out there as well. So, but no, he's a good fella. I do like Gary. We do see him on the away trips. I'll say loads soon. Rolling Stone, yes, but Pirlo had two guys doing the defensive work for him. Are they going to loan him out until he's 30? So Andrew Moran.
He's on about Andy Moran. He's 21. Rolling Stone, calm down, and he's under contract at Brighton until 2028. There's still 3 years left in his deal. They rate him very, very highly at Brighton. They're not just going to give up a lot that is that talented. It's just he needs to go to. I think he just needs to go abroad and play that league that he can keep showing how good he is technically and get his confidence really back again whilst growing physically.
Rolling Stone, he was a world beater for France, says Pogba. Yeah, it's international football, all the space in the world. Pogba was the best two-footed passer since Hoddle. Okay, didn't do in the Premier League though, did he? Just saying. So the 70 Stone, Rolling Stone, De Bruyne will have McTominay and the African fella. Napoli, is it? I watched the game on Friday. Fireworks were a bit much, but congrats to them.
Oh, is he on about Napoli? Because I know De Bruyne has been linked with Napoli.
Yeah. Good side. McTominay's
I don't know why Stone.
there.
Where's Stone?
Huh?
I don't know where he's getting Stone out of. I don't know. I'm just confused who all these people are.
No, I was saying, I think that's Stone. Rolling Stone.
Oh, Rolling Stone.
Yeah. I think it's like Stone, comma. Rolling Stone, De Bruyne is shy for Belgium. Is he crap like Pogba, Dave? I'm the new Pantella now, aren't I? I mean, Belgium have underachieved for years, mostly because they had Roberto Martinez as manager. And who's the other guy as well? That's the former player. Fucking names on the tip of my tongue as well. Belgium under.
But every time De Bruyne played for Belgium, he was never that good. It was kind of just give Hazard the ball, and Hazard will do everything.
Yeah, none of them were that good when he played for Belgium. They couldn't play together. Well, yes, Pogba was a genius, better than Twig, Bettina, who would be blown off the ball by a gust of wind. McTominay plays with Napoli. What? My son told me.
Year in Serie A, Rolling Stone.
Yeah, and he's won a second Scudetto now, hasn't he? He won a Scudetto with them. Did he win a Scudetto with them before? Oh, that was before he signed.
No, he won it today, Friday.
No. But Napoli won the league for the first time in like 30 years, didn't they? A couple of years ago. But I think
with Osimhen up front and Kvaratskhelia and all.
But McTominay wasn't at the team at that time, was he? He went after.
He only signed last summer, Dave.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Sorry, I don't have a fucking encyclopedia of shit United players going abroad to shit leagues and winning shit titles. He won't replace Gilmore midfield. Celtic certainly says, my son told me De Bruyne is off there. Celtic, that's Napoli. Jack O'Connor, Pogba, where do I start? A boy who rose to top from likely circumstances. Toppest of passing ranges, moves like he's 5'6", but actually 6'4". The best ever. And that's why he was bombed out of Manchester United, because he was the best ever. Rolling Stone, he is 1 inch off 5'10". How is that short?
He's on about Andy Moore, is he?
He is, yeah. Excuse me. Is Rolling Stone a comedy account? I don't know, excuse me. Rolling Stone, unless we are living in Atlanta Giants, 5'9" is not a small man. Harrison Aglish, imagine we throw away the campaign in September. We'd have chucked it away that early. I'd be so gone. I'd be crashing out. I'm sorry, but the pan will spill there. I'd be beyond boiling point. I think it's very important, isn't it? Momentum. If we can
have to win the first game, simple as. Hungry at home. It could either be the best start in the world, or it could be the worst start in the world.
I mean, if I would take 4 points, a draw at home, and 3 points away.
No. We need a win. Honestly, we need a win.
Obviously, a win would be ideal, but like 4 points wouldn't be terrible. 6 points would be amazing. And
I think it's win or bust pretty much, Dave. Because I know it's not impossible. That means you pretty much are going to have to probably go to Budapest away and win, or beat Portugal at home or something, like, because it means that it's just a very, very leaves us in a very. I know you're not ruled out, but it still puts in a very tricky situation.
No, I get it. I mean, you win your home games. The secret of qualification is win your home games, and at least draw. At the very least, draw with your competitors in the away games. Although it's a 4-team group, which is weird. I can remember 10-team groups. Not 10-team groups. Sorry, that's probably some of them. I remember Euro 2008 was a monster of a group with like 8 teams or something in it. Do you remember? No, you weren't even born. Rolling Stone, but can Vatina play a disguised pass? Celtic Symphony. No, but Finazaz can. Celtic Symphony. Connor, if you think the electricity is the same level as Scottish League and UCL, I know it's a joke, but it's very patronising and ignorant. You're very patronising and ignorant.
Dave, what do you think of that? What do you think of the Scottish League? Go on, give us your honest opinion on it.
Scottish League?
Yeah.
I think it's a poor league.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I'm not saying Celtic. I'm not saying Celtic obviously would absolutely run away with the League of Ireland, but they would absolutely run away with the Scottish League as well. So I'm not saying Celtic are a bad side. I just say a lot of the teams in the division are quite average.
Yeah, it's a poor team.
Which I don't think is an offensive thing to say. It's not a dig at Celtic. It's just the Scottish League the way it's at.
Yeah. I think it's a poor league, to be honest. Harrison Dalglish, imagine the feeling heading into the rest of the campaign after a loss to Hungary and a draw to Armenia. We need to stay positive, though. God. Yeah, that would be terrible. We would just be making up numbers again. But yeah, we need 6 points. We it doesn't matter how we play. Just get a win against Hungary. Get a win in Armenia. And then you've got momentum.
Peter Glasky is retired for them, by the way.
For
Hungary, the goalkeeper. Leipzig goalkeeper. He hasn't played for them since the Euros, but he was still in the squad and stuff. And he's still quite the Ferrum Forest goalkeeper, I think, is the starting keeper now. But you should, like, when a team is littered with players playing with Ferrum Forest, not in disrespect when it's a Hungarian league, but we should expect to get 3 points. I know they've Kirkes and Sabozlai, two very good players, but the rest of our squad should fill us with a lot of hope that we're a lot better overall.
Yeah, they were one of those teams where I remember the game. They haven't really quite recovered from when we played them, when we beat them in Dublin, and we were poor. I will admit that.
Both teams were very poor that time.
That was a shocking game. We beat them 2-1. It was 2-1, wasn't it? And then they fell apart at the Euros. They were dreadful, and I really expected so much more. They were a bit like us at Euro 2012. You know,
didn't they beat Scotland in the last game? They did.
They did, yeah. But they both went out, didn't they? They didn't do anything.
They both went out. Scotland could have got through, couldn't they?
They could have. They won or drew. No, they had to win against Hungary because they got battered in the first game.
Hungary scored in the 90 plus 10th minute to win it.
Yeah. That was funny. Rolling Stone, keep it in a Dalglish. You're in danger of spontaneous combustion. Rolling Stone, with that Kluger O'Shea up against the speedster Dominic, it's over already. Love to hear the positivity, Rolling Stone. Celtic 70. Conor, De Bruyne can play deep in midfield for a team that has the ball. I thought you understood this aspect of the game.
Yeah, but Celtic. You're saying that John Jarry said it was his best position. I'm just saying that it mustn't be his best position if he's never been used there. You know what I mean, Dave?
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't mean...
There's a difference in saying it's their best position rather than they can play well there.
But it wouldn't... It's not unlike... It depends, really. If a manager could see somebody in training and go, right, you can do a job there. I mean, players can do a job in positions you'd be shocked by. I was talking to one today, Gary Doherty. He was a centre forward for Ireland, but he was a defender for Spurs. It was mad. And he's playing at the same time. Like, he was a defender for Spurs, but he played up front for us. Frank Stapleton went... Whatever about being a defender, playing as a striker, that's one thing. But Frank Stapleton, striker, went and played as a central defender for United. Now, I know that's 40 years ago, but it can happen. Do you remember Steven Gerrard? He started as a right back, didn't he? Then he was right mid, centre mid, and then he played in a deep line position for Liverpool, and then he obviously slid. So it can happen. Although Gerrard could tackle, to be fair. So I don't know. It just depends. If it's a ball playing, maybe in this day and age you get away with it. It's a ball playing central defensive midfielder which just sits in front of the back four. But I don't think it'd be too effective if he can't tackle. Because I mean, Scholes could never tackle, could he? You're moving to goalpost, Dave. Come in now. Celtic Symphony. Where's Tony from Los Angeles? He's a laugh and some. Where's Tony? Where's Tony? Yeah, he's not on. Rolling Stone. Dave thinks Pogba is a poor player. His knowledge is questionable. I didn't say he's a poor player, but I just think this turn around say it's a generational talent, and all the nonsense being spouted about here is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, the facts speak for themselves. As I said, on the continent where he got more space and time in the ball, yeah, he looked amazing. France, international football, looked amazing. Premier League, pressure, players snapping at your heels, flopped. Alex, Pogba didn't get kicked out of United. His contract expired. He had offers from PSG, Real Madrid, Man City, and Juventus. He chose Juve over those options through blind loyalty. Okay. Alex, factual reporting from David Ornstein. The best in the world lineup for Pogba in 2022. But yes, he's not.
I have a question though, Dave. If Pogba was that bad for United, why did he make the team of the year in 2018-19?
I don't know.
Why did he make the Premier League team of the year?
Who picks that?
Premier League players, managers, stuff.
Yeah, it's mates stuff. Yeah,
mates. French fella.
I could turn it. Yeah, you're saying French people can't have friends?
Well, everyone talks about how good Declan Rice is, and Declan Rice was always saying that Pogba was the best midfielder he's ever played against. He said it was an absolute joke. So you can stick.
Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah. Nah, not for me. Those awards mean fuck all, to be honest, because look at all the top players that have never won those awards, players that never get involved, that aren't included in those. Those things are biased, they're mates, or someone doesn't like a particular player. So no, I'm not having that. Come on now, Conor. I expect better.
Tell me one player that's been robbed from making a team this season.
This season?
You're just making our team of the year in the Premier League.
Top of my head, I don't have a list of team of the years in front of me like you do. Like you do now.
It's that shit of that you don't know one person.
Look, there have been times, and I know you put me on the spot here, and we're trying to get through.
If you said maybe a player been
let
robbed from winning player of the year, or
let me explain. But I can remember when I was like you, and I had all the stats and stuff where I've sat down and gone, Jesus, lads, how did this lad not get in? It's a conversation I've had many times. Right now, can I think off the top of my head? No. If you gave me 10 minutes to have a look and go through it, I could possibly do it if I go off a live stream and have a look at it in Wikipedia. I can't think of it off the top of my head because
that's excuses. Rolling Stone.
It's an absolute reason. But no, it's happened many times. I know it's happened many times. I've had that conversation many times. Anyway, Rolling Stone. Perhaps Moran should go to the Scottish League. That's probably his level. Are you saying what? Celtic Symphony. Connor mentioned all the players' contention for the striker role. Johnny Kenny is not relevant, nor is your Waterford strikers. I believe you shouldn't read my messages with a preconceived agenda.
But Johnny Kenny is. He was on the provisional squad for the March camp. And I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, Celtic, if a striker pulls out this window, Johnny Kenny might be the one brought in because he's been playing matches most recently.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the next comment coming up. I can't say it. Cullen gonna pocket
SpongeBob.
Don't say it.
SpongeBob.
Don't say it. SpongeBob, yes. But yes. God, Nick. Now we can't say that. We'll get in trouble with YouTube. Ronnie Stone, was Sleepy G any better than Pogba? I don't know about that.
Technically, no.
No, Steven Gerrard was technically not technical ability wasn't exactly great with Steven Gerrard. He was about power, drive. He could tackle. He could drive teams forward, and he had a right foot that could go through walls. He had different qualities, but technically he wasn't very good. Gerrard. Do you ever see his Hollywood passes, Gerrard, and he just go astray all the time? Alex. David said he will happily argue with anybody over Pogba, clearly not as he's avoiding factual information. It appears David knows more about Pogba than the most elite clubs in the world.
Literally.
Okay. Roy Keane isn't funny. Carl Pilkington is funny. He probably knows more about football than him also. Alex, facts do speak for themselves. According to you, Pogba can't play in England, but Pep Guardiola wanted him. Yeah, I know he wanted him, which would have been... I wanted him to go to Man City desperately. That would have been hilarious. Yeah, I think with Pogba, my opinion on that is that Pogba is one of those enigmas. Yeah, he does have technical ability. However, he couldn't do it in the Premier League because if you just snapped at his heels, he couldn't do it.
Oh, stop.
He couldn't do it. And I think he's a bit like a Balotelli, where you look at this guy, he's got incredible potential, credible ability. Balotelli had incredible...
Balotelli.
No, hold on. Well, he is. He's an enigma, like Balotelli. And managers like Pep Guardiola love an enigma. They love a challenge. They want to unlock the ability. Pogba has the ability, but as I said, he couldn't do it in the Premier League. He could do it at international level when he had... I keep repeating myself. I'm going to stop. But he could do it international level on the continent when he had loads of time and space in the ball. He could do it in the Premier League. Anyway, Gregor Lockie. Gerrard was in the PFA Team of the Year 8 times and Pogba once. Rolling Stone. Kino's humorous quitting remarks. Total bully. Rolling Stone. Total joke. How many Premier League titles did Gerrard win? Alex. People like David who think Roy Keane as soon as speak the gospel will think Pogba's mentality is flawed. Ask Kylian Mbappe, Henry, Bruno Fernandes, Vieira about his mentality. They speak glowingly. Okay. I don't think Roy Keane speaks the gospel. In fact, I've been quite critical of Roy Keane. And I don't think Souness speaks the gospel either. I've been very critical of Graham Souness as well. The man who, he's just an angry man shouting at clouds. I don't listen to Graham Souness. When he started, I remember when he started that podcast. Do you remember with Simon Jordan?
Yeah,
2 up front, and then it became 3 up front with what's his name, the Troy Deeney. And then it was 4 up front with Henry Winter. I was like, you're fucking joking me. It's just men trying to be men. Nah, it doesn't
Whatever
interest me.
happened to
Shit. I'd imagine no one really listened to it. It's just boring. Like, it's just Souness sitting there about how great he thinks he is at everything. And he was a superb player, by the way. He was a terrible manager. And he just thought, like, just how great he was and how shit everything is new. Like, he was going on stuff about, like, defending the Glazers as owners and all this. And I thought, nah, you've lost me there. So, no, Alex, you're not correct there at all. See, it's very easy to make these assumptions, isn't it? Because I don't like Pogba, think I immediately agree with everything Roy Keane. Graham Souness says, well, actually, if you listen every week, I disagree with a lot of what Roy Keane says. Ronnie Stone, I'm surprised about your objectivity on Gerrard, Dave. Most Liverpool fans think he's Liverpool's best midfielder ahead of Souness, which is ridiculous. Dave, without Souness, Liverpool wouldn't have won half as much. He's a better player than Gerrard and Roy Keane. Yeah, Souness is a player. Does anyone fucking listen to what I say in this? Souness was a great player. He was a terrible manager. And yeah, just because Gerrard's a Liverpool player doesn't mean I'm going to go, oh, he's the best ever. No, Gerrard was good. But he was limited. Donny Nagel, great show, guys. Do you think Aaron Cashin will be given a chance next season, or is it a loan for him, Connor?
Yeah, I think he'll be given a chance.
All right. Well, that is it. We're going to leave it there, guys. 2.5 hours. Sorry, we've gone a little bit over. Then it's supposed to be an hour and a half. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for commenting. The Roar faithful, you are wonderful people. Over 2,000 of you watching us live here on a Sunday night. That is superb support. As always, you guys are amazing. And we love speaking to you week in, week out. We will be back with the League of Ireland. We will be back with an update next week, squad update. We believe it's going to be around the 29th. Is that a Thursday, Connor, is it?
Yeah, this Thursday, yeah. That's this week.
Yeah,
yes, this
Thursday. And we're going to have an episode about players and transfers. Connor's going to tell me when we go off air. And then, of course, we will be slap bang in the middle of an international window. So fantastic. So we want to hear from you guys all next week, and we cannot wait for the international window. And of course, we will be at all the games. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel.
There's one more interesting thing. Someone mentioned that Morehouse is going away with United first team to that thing in Asia next week, which is a weird thing. Yeah, it's like a pre-season making money thing. I think they're playing Hong Kong, a certain region of China, and some All-Stars team in next week in Asia. 3 matches. Jack Morehouse is away with the first team, and so is actually Irish eligible player Shea Lacey, who could be a top player. Someone I want to see play in green.
Well, there you go. Definitely worth interrupting my outro for.
Yeah, well, it's just worth letting fans know. More football to watch next week. When you think football's done, it's not done yet.
It's never done. That's the problem. It's never switches bloody off. But anyway, we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Please do like this video. It does help with the algorithm. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. And if you want opinion, head over to lansdowneroar.ie. That is lansdowneroar.ie. Wonderful talking to the Roar faithful. It is the last one of the season, but we're going to be back next week anyway. So you know it. Anyway, I'm David Dunn. He is Connor McAvoy. You're the Roar faithful. You're lovely. You're wonderful. Come on, you boys of green, and we will see you guys next week. God bless.